Detroit, live from Detroit.
Yo, what up, though? It's your man Jay Johnson, a.k.a. the tinfoil hat titan, a.k.a. the conspiracy realist, a.k.a. the technology snob, Steve Jobs Jr. Don't text me with your green bubbles, a.k.a. I only debate my equals, everybody else I teach. Also known as Juice, because all the hoes say J.U. Ice, Young Caesar, because you know you can't roam without me. Mr. If you don't like me, fight me. I got kicked out of Noah's Ark because they couldn't find another animal just like me, a.k.a. the Westside T'Challa, the new leader of Wakanda. Don't debate me, debate your mama. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. What up?
What up, though? It's your man Dame. 3_313. The Westside landlord, the pride of PA. High Chief Dame, don't fuck around. The liquor store legend, the corner store conquistador, your mama's favorite dame, and the David Ruffin of the Shoptalk podcast, because you know who the fuck they came to see. Not you, Otis. It's no better than these 4 letters. Thank God for Dame. And if you speaking on Dame, you better say it nice. And if you don't put the boss in front, then bitch, you not saying it right. It's the honorable Boss Dame and his bitch. Let's go.
All stand. It's Mark Homie, a.k.a. Murdered Ink, a.k.a. Broken Pens, a.k.a. Curve Gotti, or you can call me Uncle Marcus. Most of the time, 5 days a week, it is hanging with Mr. Summerall. I'm back. The Triangle Offense. Tony Kukoc in his bitch.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? I practiced a addition to my intro, and I'm going to keep and run with. But like, I got nervous when it was my time.
You just got to let it out. You just got to let it out.
Because I haven't decided if I'm going to remove a part or just add a part. I think I'm going to remove a part.
I think you got to keep renovating the house.
Yeah.
You got to keep building on the house. Don't take nothing.
I'm going to wait till next week because now it don't fit. But like, yo, the shit cold, dog.
Okay.
Like, I
I'm
can't
ready.
even front. Like, that shit cold.
You know, the honorable Judge Dame is real. That really like came from you and Eric.
No, it's coming. It's coming. and we can do it. Like, we don't even need nothing crazy. Like, it's happening.
Homie court.
It can be all
Homie
type
court.
of court. The same way, but you just need people. We ain't going to put too much out here. It's coming.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming.
Wait till we get to the CH. It's not the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's coming. And we can lay into that. Like, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we toss shit around, that's
I got
the
an
one.
idea for some.
And in-
I got an
in any
idea for
event-
some merch too.
In any
That's
event,
crazy.
welcome back, Shop Talk Podcast, episode 313.
On you hoes. I forgot this was episode 313.
We supposed to plan something for it.
We plan on having you here, and that's enough.
Hey, man, triangle
That's
offense,
enough.
man.
Yeah. Why? Triangle offense 313. It makes sense.
It worked, man. I guess it was Teacher Appreciation Week, so it was like a perfect storm.
How do you feel teaching?
Man, I
Is it
love man.
Is it a satisfying feeling?
So the thing is, the difference with me and I would say a lot of teachers is I answered the call and it was God's call.
Really? Okay.
100%. This guy is everything, cleared the way for me to be here. All right.
Okay.
I went to school 20 years ago to be a teacher. All right. I got detoured. I found out, like I worked in the nonprofit stuff. I found out my school had a nonprofit like program. So I detoured from education. I was like, I can still work with kids. I can still work with young people. I could do it this way. I don't got to do the college of ed, whatever. Worked 10, 12, 15 years. Every time I was in a transition, like I was doing stuff I like to do, but you still work for people. And the situations aren't always the best. Every time I was in pivot or ready to transition, education, I was like, I want to teach. But me, I had a balance still at school. And so the biggest part of teaching is you got to have a transcript. I had well over the 90 credits, so I could have been 7, but I had a balance. So I had that hole and they wasn't going to release it.
Okay.
So, you know.
When you said I have balance, I'm thinking like you got like balance in your life.
No, I got my wife that support me.
A balance.
My family.
A balance. And so it was actually December 2019. I was like, I'm going to teach. Whatever, I'm going to pay this balance. I'm going to use whatever. The money was small for what the balance was, but it was just like, I just kept putting it off because, you know, fuck them loans.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't want to pay it. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it was down. I was like, this is stopping me. Like, it's not going nowhere. earlier that year, I was working somewhere else, and I sat down. I was out recruiting. Went to the College of Education. Lady sat me down. We were talking. I'm recruiting for a program, and she's like, "Yeah, it's those kids. You can't stop thinking about it because you have to do it." She sat me down. Me and her talked for 2 hours in her office, and she said, "The kids need you, and that's haunting you. And until you actually do it, it's never gonna stop haunting you." And that had to be like
You like prayers.
so it had to be like February, March, or whatever.
Okay.
And so it spoke to. I'm like, "You right." You know what I'm saying? And so it was that time again, and it was like, all right, let's, like I said, December. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pay the balance, do whatever I need to do. So February come, you know what I'm saying? Got the bread, called the school, ready to pay it. They're like, it's in collections. I said, okay, put me over there. Put me to collections. They like, we ain't got nothing, man. You got to call the state. We could transfer you. So it's Michigan Department of whatever education loans. Put me over there. They say, yeah, we ain't got nothing. There ain't no balance. I said, what? They said, yeah, it said we got a payment last June. You don't got no balance. I said, well, can you give me a receipt? Because the school,
Right.
the school got a hold on it. You know what I'm saying? So they like, no, they know how to call us, whatever. Just tell them this. I called back. I said, yo, they say I ain't got no balance.
You figure out what happened?
That's like
The
Other than
Lord.
God, bro. Like it's
He cleared.
like I said like I'm gonna do whatever it is.
Dog, that's
So it's like one of those things where the universe will give you what you want. You just got to commit to it. And once you made the commitment to do it, all right, now I remove all the blocks from you.
And so I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I called the school on hold for 2 minutes. She's like, oh yeah, we talked to him. The hold is off. So
just that quick.
so I was like, all right.
He was just waiting on you to commit to.
Typically, like, you say, man, that's crazy. And I was like, I can't even say it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's God. I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to, some like short God for what this is. But I knew what I had to do,
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What if you find out that your wife paid that balance in June and never told you?
It wasn't her, though.
I'm saying,
If she did, it still
how would you feel, though? Like,
I
you know
would
what I'm
feel
saying?
good. I wouldn't feel angry about it, but
No, not angry.
no, I'm saying, but it was like, and she supported me fully with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? She know that's where I needed to be too. And so it was like, after that, I just had to, apply, figure that out. And like, I got a job. It was quick. And I'm going to start in the fall, and then started in the fall. And then it's been clicking, like ever since.
And this is your first full year of teaching.
So, last year I taught tech.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how, I had my friends pull up, made me look like a hero virtually for my 8th grade kids. Because it was, what I call it? It was Black History Month. And I said, I want you to talk to people who are making Black history presently. Like, they not dead. Because the kids were vocal about, hey, man, we done heard about Martin Luther King. I said, well, I got people making Black history now who look like you, who are alive, and they from Detroit like you. So Jay came through, Barry came through, Niles came through, and he has like the gaming management company. So he's doing millions of dollars managing gamers. Y'all play games.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I probably had like six. My boy Dion, he works for the Giants in communications.
Okay.
So he's doing communications, social media, public relations for the New York Giants. He hopped on the Zoom for me. And so the kids like, how you know these people? Like, what I said is go to school. Like,
make friends, talk to people.
Talk.
Yeah.
I was like, these. I said, it was only 2 people who like I ain't text to talk to my kids. It was only 2, and them was just messages. Because, like, I was a recruiter, so I don't care. You either going to say yes or no. The other parts, it's like, Jay, can you do this time? Bet. Barry, what's up?
Man.
Bet. And the kids is like, yo, man.
Sometimes I think about, because I didn't go to a university, right? And people say, like, the college experience is about your network that you build and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I be thinking that the studio is like the college campus here, where like, well, this is just a network. It's so many people who come into this place and end up being friends or end up doing work together that that I would never have a chance to meet, and then they wouldn't have a chance to meet. I look at the timeline and see people talking back and forth that don't know each other in real life, and just having like a hub for people to meet. But like, to your point, when you tell them like go to school, like, fam, go find a network of people.
Mm-hmm. But that, I mean, that in a nutshell, that's what it was. But it's like we knew people, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows people. Like it made our connections like that smaller. Like we both know people that we are like close to.
Yeah.
That are like close to you and close to you. And you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't know that we close.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, how you, who is, like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And like, but that network is still, most of my stuff, like my network in Detroit went because I went to Eastern. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Flint. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a connection in itself, because that Flint love, that's different. Like everybody from Flint, like
everybody from Flint know everybody from Flint.
Fuck yeah.
You had to.
Fuck yeah.
So it's like, I tell anybody, it's the, realistically, like if you was in like a 4-year, I won't even say 4, like 2 to 3 years of me, like if I don't know you, I know your people.
Yeah.
Or I know somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, people ask me crazy stuff like, you know, such as I said, bro, I'm 38. I don't know nobody from Flint at 28 for real. Because they was, when I left, like I ain't been home since 04 for real. I was only coming home in the summer. That was the last summer I came home.
Are your people still in Flint?
Yeah, like, I'm going up there, but
Yeah.
I ain't going to JB's. I ain't about to go to
I don't know what JB's is.
JB's.
You know, I was just in Flint.
One way in, one way out.
I was just in Flint a couple weeks ago. Had dinner out there.
Downtown.
Yeah.
You know,
But
small,
even,
quaint downtown.
But even when I drove through, like, I ain't been to Flint since my homeboy was like knocking heads off at Kettering, and that was like 2000. The last time I went to Flint, Kevin Tolbert was in high school, and we went to see a game of him play. Was the last time I was out there in Flint. And like back then, that shit seemed like a ghost town. Like it was just.
It's a ghost town. Now that's when we was populated. It was popping then. 2001, 2000 it was popping. That's when Mo Cleese them got drafted. It was like, man, we was the happiest. So, you know, Ira Dorsey, a.k.a. Bootleg, he signed the deal. He riding through the hood, 99. Navigator on 22s, spinners bang, but he from my hood essentially. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he from Dayton. Dayton was around the corner from my elementary school.
Okay.
So we see him, he the man. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a deal, he got videos, we see him on TV. He was 3 6 Mafia. He's like, that nigga made it. But he was from the Dayton family. 2001, I think was that year. Like Mo Cleese got drafted, Mo Pete got drafted. They bringing Jay Rich down.
Bree had, let's go to the club.
They parking and they got the excursion. They got the, so everything. And we had the pro-am. Because, like basketball is huge in Flint.
Yeah.
So the pro-am, they bringing niggas from the league to come to the program. So they pulling up, Benz's on the sidewalk. They parking crazy, but they own the city basically. Like I think that year Cleves might have paid for the fireworks because we ain't have enough money for the fireworks. So he's a hero. You know what I'm saying? And so at that time, that was the biggest time. Like now, man, I watched my grandma's neighborhood go from like every house was there, and I just remember, like I knew it as a kid. Like everything was popping. Dog, it's nobody. Like it's like 3 houses there.
That's what my street looked like.
Like you watch it go, and I'm like, every time I would come home
in 20 years, 15 years, really.
Yep, and you just see it go. So it's like, man, like this was like a good street. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this was where all the people who worked at the plant, That's who built this street.
Okay.
But the plant left. The trickle down from that looked crazy. And it feel crazy. And like it's nothing there now.
I just say when I was out there, it just felt like
It's
it still
different,
felt
though.
like a thriving area though. And I was primarily in the downtown area.
The downtown is all right there because you got Kettering, you got U of M Flint. So that's where it's always going to be life there. U of M Flint they built dorms now. You know, Kettering is number 2, number 3 engineering school in the country.
Yeah.
So it's right there, and you got to make sure people be good in them places.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, similar to downtown Detroit.
They ain't about to put them on dating. You ain't going on dating half to get the not the future of the engineering. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, man. Before we get into Sainte Tiger Supply,
I just use that to get here. You know, I just keep hang out.
and
Oh
all
no,
that.
man, we want you to hang out.
It's been
We want you to hang
It's
out.
been a lot of shit going on this week, and
That's being nice.
you know what I'm saying. A lot of shit going on this week. I'm gonna start at the top. You know what I'm saying.
I got a couple things I want to talk about. I'm sure we both on the same page.
I do have a lighter note too, because you missed it last week.
Yeah,
All of the Benzino stuff.
yeah.
We can start there.
Oh.
We can
I'm
start there.
forever missed the Benzino.
No, this was great.
I seen the video with him and his baby mama and nigga with his shirt off. And,
It wasn't that. So
Okay.
he got on.
He's
there
rapping
with
again.
What led to the rap? So he had got caught allegedly trying to talk to a trans woman, and so the reason this is funny is because he was mad. He was doing the wildest like series of tweets of like.
he was mad that he got caught, or he mad.
So he was a
he
man-
did not
That she
know.
put she like
he said that they never talked. And so he kept like he was threatening this person. Like he said, yeah, the transformer. That's why transformers be getting killed. I swear, I'll kill your motherfucking ass and I'll do jail, this and this and that. And he like, are you like the first one? Like, man, nigga mad. This nigga was like doubling and tripling down. And he kept saying transformer. I said, Benzino, like, what are you doing? Like, the transformer is what my wife had showed me. I was like, you lying. Like, you got to send me this screenshot. There's no way that this nigga is really like. And the transformer, another thing about the transformer, you got to, I said,
that's a community that you probably want to speak to nicely.
but why is he doing it? It was just weird.
Because I think old girl was trying to like put him out like he
That's
tried
what he
it.
felt like, though. She had, from everything that was going on, from what I read, she never responded. She was just like, and so he just was mad that he kind of got caught in the crossfire. He talking about he'll rather, it was one line that the timeline went crazy with because he said he'll rather like go to jail before he come out.
Oh, I had no interest in this nigga. Or this, I got no interest. I can't even do it. It should just be.
So that's how he started dissing 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent was like,
Live your truth.
Yeah, like he just
free,
went crazy.
Benzino, be free.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Free,
so.
Mr. C, be free.
You know, live your truth, whatever that truth is. Because it's 2021, like, or 2022
Yeah.
rather. People are a little bit kinder to.
Ain't nobody kind.
No,
Ain't nobody kind. That's bullshit.
If
Niggas are tippy-toeing
All right.
because they are afraid of
the boogeyman.
public outrage that nothing happens about. Niggas will tiptoe.
they don't want to get canceled.
Niggas will. Who didn't got canceled?
Nobody
Niggas will
gets canceled.
tiptoe around LGBT because they're afraid of this community, but be a part of a community, the alleged black community, but won't tiptoe around none of our shit. Like, we respect everybody else community and everybody else movement, but we can have our own, but don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. But we gonna be afraid of everybody else. But when it comes to us, we'll say whatever the fuck we want to each other. We'll do whatever we want to each other. That shit is just, you know what? I'm about to sound like Chuck, but fuck that black community bullshit because it ain't real.
Is that the real boogeyman?
What I'm saying is that shit don't exist. It's not a thing. And just everybody just leave that shit alone. It's not a thing.
Okay.
The black that's not a thing. Go find some like-minded people, man, and do your shit because you trying to. It's not a thing. Just how you say you don't know anybody who's 28 years old in Flint. Or y'all don't live in the same community. Y'all don't have the same thought process that like they may be black and they may be from Flint. It's not a thing. Like we don't listen to the same music. Our brains ain't on the same way. We don't think the same way. And it's like, why would we even be like, what? We from the same place, so we gotta be on the same page. We not on the same page. We don't agree. It's not a thing.
Okay.
It's not a thing. And I don't even want, and like, where is it?
Where's like the meetup place for the black community?
Where is the black community? Because I see a bunch of
I don't know where the clubhouse is.
A bunch of black people who live in white communities. Is that the black community?
Nah, wherever
Because
the NAACP tell us to go. That's
The community the NAACP was started by the white man?
When the last time the NAACP? This is probably going to be unpopular as well, but outside of that little fundraising dinner that they do every year, what the fuck else did the NAACP do?
Niggas, apes, alligators, coons, and possums. I'm just saying.
You rattled that off quick. You must have, somebody must have.
He said he was ready. Today.
I see.
He was ready today. Let's go to the top. Where we starting? What's on the docket?
I'm so frustrated this week, man.
Let it off, man.
I want to start with Roe versus Wade.
Okay.
And I want to start there, not because I have an opinion about what you should do or what you shouldn't do. I just want everybody to understand what is happening so y'all can stop retweeting fucked up headlines that make you feel bad, and you really need to understand what's going on. The Supreme Court they're ruling the potential ruling because it's not
leaked thing. This was leaked.
Yeah, the potential ruling is not about whether they think it's right or wrong that you have an abortion or not. This ruling does not quote unquote make abortion illegal. The ruling, which I read myself, says that in the original case of Roe versus Wade, we overstepped because this is a states' right issue. What they said is, at the time, there was like 33 different states that have their own individual laws and everything. And they said the federal government, the Supreme Court, does not have the authority to make a blanket law across the country. Because that's not some shit that we should be in. That's a issue that should be left up to the people and a voting matter for the people. We shouldn't be able to dictate what y'all gonna do or not gonna do. So what they said is, they're not saying we about to get rid of this because we don't want insert here or insert that. What they're saying is we didn't have the authority to do that. Here's an example. In Michigan, if I'm leaving here and I get caught, I get pulled over and I got a gun in my car and I got marijuana in my car, I'm probably not getting a ticket and I'm going home. If you in New York City, you get pulled over with a gun in your car and marijuana in your car, you're going to prison.
Time.
Because that is a state issue.
Mm-hmm.
Different states go through different things. The federal government is not supposed to be in your individual, what's going on with your body, nigga. We don't got no control over that. That's some shit that you vote for in your local municipalities or whatever. It's not about making it legal or illegal because we never said it was or wasn't. That's not.
But it's salacious.
It's very salacious.
And it's another thing. I didn't read everything. I saw the outrage. Then I found out that it was leaked, which is
so there's two different schools of thought on what's going on with the leak. So some are saying the people who are pro abortion being legal, the one school of thought is they wanted to leak it to create public outrage and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The other school of thought is the people who was for it thought that the people who voted for it were going to be talked out of it, so they put that shit out there, be like, nah, we want you to see what was really happening, so no one goes behind the scenes and tells you what to do, so to speak. But the reason I'm bringing this shit up is this is a state issue. So in Michigan, the quote unquote, so Governor Whitmer, she didn't came out yesterday, day before yesterday, say, yo, we ain't prosecuting nothing or this and that, whatever. Everything gonna be business as usual. The law in Michigan has been on the books since 1933 on the state laws. If you don't like the law, you can change it on the state level and everybody here in Michigan is straight. But if you are incorrectly aiming your anger at the Supreme Court or the federal government, that's a state issue. People can vote either if A, somebody won't change the law, you want this to be there, then you can A, vote them out or get it placed on the ballot and let the people decide.
Well, Jason, this is what we've learned over the time, right? Every time it's a presidential election, right? People come out in droves. This is the one where it's an electoral college, so it's kind of like it's equal, you know what I'm saying? Like majority wins. The local elections where we can do everything, nobody shows up. And people are like, man, our vote don't count. This is where the one that it count. Like,
Absolutely.
one vote. So you watch people like, what's my man name who came in? Anthony Adams.
Yeah.
Anthony Adams lost because people didn't show up to vote.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't like Duggan, if you like Duggan, you had the choice to pick. The people who voted for Duggan, it was old black people because they vote every time. And they just like, man, I know this name, I don't know the other name. And that's how people vote realistically still. We can argue, but we can say every day, like, yo, man, vote for your interests. But the only way you got to vote for your interests is that you got to do some research and read what is this person talking about.
Oh,
You gotta do your own.
Locally.
Accountability.
Locally, the governor, we literally have the power to shift if you don't like it.
Currently.
But those midterm elections, those local elections, nobody show up. City council. If we decide, you know what I'm saying, like all the bullshit we talk
That's why
for,
that
like
black community shit ain't
the
real.
presidential election, like every time we be like, yo, man, we got to do, and that's not
But
where
you know why
it affects us.
You know, I think that's this because that's the least amount of thing that you can do and lie and say that you active. I'm just gonna vote for this one person, and hopefully when I vote for a Democrat, all my problems gonna be answered. Hey, I did my part. No, nigga,
And
this shit take accountability.
But that's the worst level of thinking. Like when people just vote, is Democrat is good, Republican is bad. And I had this argument. My son is a voting age now. We just having different conversations
just got to inform them.
Yeah, and he a young man living out in the world, and he got different questions. Is one of them things that you talking about, being in college and being on a college campus. He's dealing with people that were outside his normal incubator. His roommate is funny because he just moved back home from campus, and he was happy because but he was tired of living with Paul because Paul was white and he was like he dirty and Paul and I've met Paul. He's not a bad kid. It's just the fact that they just
culture's
yeah they just two different people. Paul like to get up at the crack of dawn. My son like to stay up till 3 a.m. Like them niggas, they lifestyles are just different. He was complaining about Paul first semester. I'm like, look, they're not gonna change your roommate assignment just because you don't like the nigga. Like that's just life. You gonna work. You can, but like
it's work. No.
Yeah, and he wasn't willing to put in that work. But what brings me back to the voting thing is that like that's somewhat of what I was explaining to my son. Like, don't just because his mom, and not to knock his mother, but she's one of them like, Democrat is good. That's what you vote. And I'm like, look at this. Paul, for example, is from, let's just say Rochester Hills. He's somewhere from out in Lansing, but I'm just going to use Rochester Hills as the example. I tell my son, like, Rochester Hills is a primarily Republican, more or less community. But I said, look at their schools, look at their neighborhoods, look at their streets. It's not a bad community to live in. Now, you, on the other hand, you from Detroit. We're primarily Democrat. Look at the schools, look at the neighborhoods, look at the streets, look at the city services. We've been primarily voting Democrat for decades here, and it's really gotten us no further. It might be the lesser of two evils in some arenas, but for the most part, if you look at the big picture, we're no better in Detroit.
The worst parts of this country, the ghettos, the everything, is Democratic ran.
They are.
And that's just a fact.
And I'm like, don't be afraid to step outside of that box and move differently with your vote, because again, on the local level, you can change that shit. If enough young, like-minded people get out and say, you know what, I don't want my city to look like this anymore, and in order to enact effective, they not. But I'm just not even young. But I mean, if enough like-minded people
when they change it,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They can make effective and realistic changes just on the local level. City council
is like those things. Like right now, like this last week, we started introducing the federal government, like in 4th grade.
Okay.
So I turned into Umar Johnson last week when we was.
That's what the kids need. That's what the kids need.
So they have to learn it, so they don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? But I can see them being interested in it. So I'm explaining we had to roll out the branches of government. So I'm spending time on it because I only do it like 2 days a week. But we spending time on it. But I want you to know, like, I'm driving everything about locally. Like, one of my kids asked me about a recycling container. I said, I got mine free. I live in the city. Went to the website. They delivered it in my driveway. They'll give it to you. You just got to do it. If you don't like something, says you can get on the internet like you do. That person that y'all elected in that city council person, they got to see you. They got to hold meetings. You can pull up on them, talk to them.
Their email, they don't get that many. They gonna send your email.
They have, you know what I'm saying? You can make the noise to it, but they have to have meetings.
And you know where they at every time of week. Like
they have to be at these. So I said, you locally, this stuff matter. I said, the Constitution, we rolled out the Constitution. I said, first thing I told you, I said, it wasn't written for you. And she, kids just say stuff like, oh, it's racist. I said, 100%. I said, let's read what is the crazy part about the Constitution. It's like, you can't discriminate against people.
But wait, though. So listen, I definitely understand that it may not have been intended for us the whole 9 yards when it was written. But I think that's also holding us back because, like it or not, we Americans here.
Yeah,
and
I know,
because we are always told like that, like we don't take advantage of the shit that we should be taking advantage of. You got certain rights in this country, right?
100%.
And we have to fully take advantage of them. But some people be so, no, I ain't fucking with that shit. But like, no, that shit applies to you too.
I want them to understand because that's rolling, like, because that rolling to the amendments.
Yeah.
Like the changes that they had to be made. The same, like I said, the first couple lines, they say like, you can't discriminate against people. But then there's like, only people that can vote, you got to be Protestant, white, and own land. So it's like, what about these other people?
They ain't people.
But I'm just saying, like, the line, like, this is written for you not to discriminate against people.
Man, what's so crazy? I be thinking about that shit too, right? Because, like, you live in the city of Detroit. Should there be a criteria for your ass to vote? For your vote to matter? We always talk about, like, everybody have an opinion, but everybody's opinion isn't backed up by, like, experience and knowledge and stuff. Like, should there be a criteria for you to vote? I'm not saying it shouldn't, but, like,
I think
because like, should you be like, some niggas are just like, every time I see something fucking wild on the internet or wild in real life, I be like, damn, these niggas vote.
But they don't.
You know what I'm saying?
But they don't vote. The thing is, the same way we have to go through to take a test for a driver's license, you should have to do some type of like testing,
a basic competency test
to register to vote.
In order to vote,
fill it out.
you at least got to write down the candidates who voting for this position. Because is that a like? It's not like a test you can study. In order for you to vote for the mayor, could you at least know who are running for mayor? At the very least, if you want to vote for a position, can you write down the name?
I get your point, but like, people can argue that's discriminatory.
How?
But you have, like, to get a license, you got to take a written test, and you got to drive. Like, you have to do it
because
this is a license for the future.
I've been in front of Judge Placus in Canton several times, and the last time I saw this man, he told me, Mr. Bradley, driving in the state of Michigan is a privilege, not a right. Voting is the exact opposite. Voting is a right and not a privilege. That's why
currently. What I'm saying is, some people are not even competent enough to stand in court, right? people go to like, yo, he's not competent enough to stand trial, but this person can vote. You can't even defend yourself in court, but you gonna make a decision? Like,
Jay,
should
a lot of niggas that be like, I ain't competent to stand trial. Like, you done did some wild shit, and I'm arguing I was crazy, and I fucking blacked out, and that's why I killed 4 people.
I get that, but what I'm asking you, I know it's not that way now. I'm asking y'all, just having a conversation.
No,
do you think there should be some basic something before you get in? If you want to come into this fucking country and be an American citizen, you gotta you gotta pass a test,
and it ain't gotta be nothing crazy. Like I said, like it's just something you had to be aware. And
it's more a barrier of entry.
Because your people, like I said, like we all.
But then some candidates, not to cut you off, but then some candidates would probably mitigate some of their base if there was, a basic skills test.
No, they would do it the same way people go out. You think about it, it's always somebody. When it's election season, you can see somebody.
Give me half of the candidates voting for this particular position.
Somebody gonna have that board running around. They just sign the names, addresses, sign the names and addresses. If you hold it, and that's even putting the candidates accountable. If you get my signature, you need talk to me. We should have a community meeting for you to inform, like you go over the stuff. People just like vote for me. And it's not, what am I voting for you for? You know what I'm saying? Like it's people knocking on the doors right now we got a congressional seat open, 13th district in Detroit. Right?
Okay.
Big seat. It's like 13 people running for it. Why is it 13 people running for it? Not because they all think they qualified, but they all want the power.
Yeah.
You be in that seat until
you die.
That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of responsibility. What you doing to, like, you know what I'm saying, like to deserve it? You picking the youngest person. You picking the person that look best.
It's a popularity contest.
So, but it's that Congress seat.
It's an ideal contest, right? Because I hear something like, I want to get all these old folks out of there. We need some young blood in there. Well, what if the older person in there is smarter than the young blood? Now you put the young nigga in there with no experience, no nothing. Nigga used to be a stock boy at insert such and such. That don't mean he don't got the mind, but like, why the fuck we removing people who could be qualified or experienced
and have political experience,
and just to put you, we need something new. Let's just shake the shit up.
Because when we voting, right, the same thing. If you not knowing, right, niggas flunk social studies
all the time.
But how do you know? Most people don't know that congressional seat is like that. That you vote this part, like it ain't.
And that's
it ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
I bring up the Roe V Wade shit because if that ultimately ends up getting turned, that don't mean the whole country goes to nope. Abortions is illegal now. That's not what happens.
But this
now in your state. That's up to you and your state.
It might be illegal in Georgia, but you take your ass across Georgia state lines.
For sure, but this is a thing to drive you to the polls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to get people.
What if the people in Texas is for it? Let's say 90% of the people in Texas don't want abortion. This is America, right? I thought it was a democracy. If 90% of the people in that state say we want it, then how can it be illegal?
You know what this is about, though,
right? Because right now,
conspiracy Jay.
Right now, everybody outraged like, how the fuck you gonna take this away? So let's just say 90% of the state like, no, we want this shit. Then of course you can get it, right?
You should be able to.
No should. It's like the reason that we can't is because we're focused on the thing that isn't gonna fix it.
They focus on the headline and not the facts. Is the headline is. That's just everywhere. Social media, like people look at that first sentence and don't investigate enough to figure out. Because I was the same way with how you mentioned. Like when I saw the first sentence, I was like, I'm just a skeptical nigga anyway. Like when I see some shit, I just automatically go on. I don't believe that shit. And I just had to go in and do some research. And that's why I found the same thing. Like, no, they're not saying like abortion is just going to be illegal worldwide. It's just not going to be.
Man, handle that shit in your state. That's the same thing that happened when 45 was in office. We went through COVID. Motherfucker, it's the state's obligation to shut the fucking state down. It's not whoever the president is to shut the fucking country down. Whoever the head of the FAA is, once you realize that there's a fucking virus that's spreading through the air, you don't wait for the fucking president to tell you to shut this shit up. Nigga, your job is the head of the FAA. If you in Henry
Stop
Ford,
flying niggas.
If you the head of Henry Ford Medical System and you know that there's an uptick in some shit that's contagious, why are you waiting for someone to tell you to do your fucking job and start making recommendations to people? No one wants to take responsibility. We're going to look at one particular place and blame it there instead of just taking responsibility.
Because if something goes wrong, nobody wants to be like, nobody wants to be able to point the finger that I fucked up.
But
I didn't do something.
And
You did.
That's your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got your whole job is to stop this. Like, your title, the first line in the description is like, hey man,
health,
there's some shit go off. You got it, and you like.
You made a good point when we was talking in the studio the other day about Ted Cruz when he left Texas during the snowstorm. Like, I can't do shit to stop that. Like the optics, you know, people. Like, he's supposed to be in the trenches, and I argue with you like that nigga should have stayed in Texas. But like, you made a good point. What the fuck can I do till it stops snowing?
Who am I call?
He can't.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
like no, but you gotta look. Y'all niggas so worried about the I can't stop the fucking snow, my nigga, until it get warm. It was 70 degrees 2 days later, and everything went back to normal. But like, nigga, I can't fix it.
He knew who to call. He knew who to call.
But it looked that fuck how it looked. How is it though?
Because he got him and his family up out of there.
So listen,
he turned the machine.
This is my issue. This issue I have is multi-layered. Okay, and I'm gonna go there because it is what it is. It's multi-layered because one, I feel like the media is misinforming us, and if they pointed you in the right direction, which is to your state government, then maybe you can get the thing that you're asking for. But one of the questions that came up was, and one of the statements that I keep hearing is, if you are a man, then you shouldn't have an opinion or a voice on this. Okay. And Roe versus Wade being overturned is the worst thing that happened to women. Okay. And this is a large left-leaning side pushing this Democrat. Well, how can that be the worst thing that happened to women if you can't define what a woman is?
Boom.
Our director of health and human services is a trans woman. He the one doing all this shit for the country. She don't have a say in this because this whole side has been pushing whatever you identify as. So how do you then turn around and say this is bad? Well, what's a woman? Because y'all told me that trans women are women. So it's so conflicting that like you've been pushing a narrative that's wild in real life, and now to something that actually impacts women. You got people saying things what they saying right now would be offensive 2 weeks ago if this wasn't going on.
Cis women.
Oh, fuck that cis shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is like the problem I have with it being leaked. What if this shit is really just smoke and mirrors?
It ain't even happened yet.
What if it's not even on the table? You know what I'm saying? Same. Remember when TMZ killed Lil Wayne?
I do.
Times.
Lil Wayne died multiple times with TMZ.
Rick Ross died too.
Rick Ross died twice. They still here. What if it's just that? Because somebody, you know how we always say, like, what is they distracting us from?
Well, the Supreme Court did. They did actually.
They owned up to the leak also.
Yeah, they said it's a real
still
document.
Fishy to me, bro. Like nothing else has ever leaked from the Supreme Court.
It's not a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Like, why is that? But it's doing what it's supposed to do.
But like, let's say this shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world.
But if it's
I don't mean that like in a like literally there are measures. Like you live in Michigan, your governor said you're gonna be straight.
Or you can move. You have free will.
I'm never moving to New York City. I'm never moving to California. So this is the other thing that I have an issue with. So they like, how could you change something that's been a staple for 70 years? What about the Second Amendment? Because that's been a staple since this shit started, right? But in Los Angeles, in New York, I can't have a gun. In Los Angeles, it says shall not be infringed, and it's infringed like a motherfucker, right? It's infringed like a motherfucker. So much though that I live in the state, Michigan is like number 6 in the country for quote unquote good gun laws and shit. I would never move to Los Angeles. I would never move to California. Shit, Chicago don't even respect my CCW. You got to get your own special Chicago one. And they not handing them bitches out. It's hard to get a gun in Chicago, but them niggas got all the gun murders because I know you niggas ain't got guns, so what you gonna do to me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not that y'all have an issue with a quote unquote law that's been on the books being fucked with because, hey, Second Amendment, my cousin was arguing us like, well, maybe if when men care about a situation, then it'll be changed. Well, we care about the Second Amendment. That shit ain't changed, right? Men don't like child support the way it's set up. That ain't
Shit
changed.
ain't never changed.
Men don't like how the divorce rate sets. I mean, how it happens in a divorce. That ain't changed. It's all these one-liners and zingers and shit that sound good as a comeback, but don't actually match up in real life. Like,
but people don't know. It's back to they just don't know what stuff mean, and so
they don't care to
like,
find out. They don't care to find out either.
Knowing that at state level, you had to like read. You know what I'm saying? And so it's easier to say it's just everything. Everything about to change. You in danger, and it just causes this
hysteria.
And that's what it did. Like it did what it was supposed to do.
I promise you, because I don't want to promise, but them niggas don't give a fuck if you get an abortion or not. They just said, yo, this wasn't our decision to make. That's some shit y'all got to handle on your own. If y'all want to put that shit on the ballot and vote for it, do that shit in your own state. That's how this country is set up.
But they don't tell us that.
Like, for an example, let's just say if the federal government want to just do blanket shit, right? You know how our transportation is here in the city of Detroit. It's damn near non-existent. But in Chicago and New York City, public transportation is a way of life. Mm-hmm. It's only like that in a couple places in the country, right? So if the federal government say, you know what, I think this shit, more people don't use public transportation than do use it, we gonna get rid of this shit. They're like, whoa. It's gonna be 3 states to be like, no, nigga, we LA, use subways, New York, Chicago. They can be like, no, we need this shit. But the federal government is not supposed to make a law on a personal level that's like wide sweeping like that. We got certain shit that we gonna do and that's federal. But like what you do individually with your body is something the federal government. I don't want the government having anything to do. The federal government, anything to do with my personal. I want less government. Conservatives want less government, not more government. But people only want more government when it's beneficial to them. I heard people saying fuck the Supreme Court and all the other shit. 2 weeks ago, you motherfuckers loved the Supreme Court when they let the black lady in. Oh, now it's fuck the Supreme Court? All on my timeline, y'all was talking about this is a landmark, this, and this is great, this is this. Now it's fuck the Supreme Court.
It's a lot. Like I said, this is not just one thing. This whole, that leak, and it was a lot of things that I read that was interesting, and I just want to see, because, you know, it's also, black people aren't the leader in abortions, contrary to popular belief. It's white women.
Currently or historically?
Period. As always. Remember, it's more of us. We just know more black people.
I don't know, man.
Look it up.
Yeah,
it's a lot, but it's also because white people are leading to extinction. And so
that's a crazy sentence.
You having these babies, it keeps the bloodline alive. So it's a bigger, like I said, it's a lot. Like it ain't just one, it's not just one thing. It ain't just one thing. And then it's so much stuff with this, you know what I'm saying? Like that headline did what it was supposed to do.
Facts. It did.
It's driving that voter turnout. So it's gonna be some other shit. But this is an important thing to get people out.
I don't know, man. Shit looking kind of shaky. It looked like, so when it comes to effect, let me go back down.
Because when it's time to get out, it's going to be other stuff, them bills and the millages and all that stuff, them proposals.
That's going to be like...
It's going to be some shit on there.
They voted no to give millions of dollars to the school. Yeah, because y'all was talking about killing motherfuckers in the bill, too. That's why we said no.
It's going to be a lot in there. I'm almost sure of it. Because we got that, I think it's August maybe.
When it comes to effect on minorities, the numbers are unambiguous. In Mississippi, people of color comprise 44% of the population, but 81% of the women receiving abortions, according to Kaiser Family Foundation, which tracks the health statistics. In Texas, they're 59% of the population, but 74% of those receiving abortions. The numbers in Alabama are 35% of the population and 69% of the people receiving abortions. In Louisiana, Minorities represent 42% of the population, and according to the state health department, about 72% of those receiving abortion.
Minority is everybody though.
Black and brown.
That's all of the everybody.
But but you only mentioned in southern states. I mean,
because those are the ones who are likely to get banned. That's what's going to impact by it. Because I mean,
but white women getting abortions in fucking Utah and South Dakota
but still, even that
Arizona.
20, that what the numbers is, it's 20 and 20% over every year of white people not happening. That's still going to grow the number.
The only thing, so this is what I think going on some conspiracy shit, but it's the other way. Typically, we always ask for our impending doom. We always get tricked into asking for what ultimately ends up hurting us, because they counted up all the, and I'm not having a conversation about what you should or should not do, because that's up to you, right? But like historically, more than the people that we lost through the Great Migration over to here have been aborted. Like if the idea was, if we stop abortions, then white people will populate the earth again, nigga, it's gonna be more black and Mexican people here than ever before, because we the ones getting rid of the babies. So like it damn near benefits y'all to let the shit keep going on. You know what I'm saying? Because if we stop, y'all population may grow, but we gonna grow even more. Our alleged black people alleged population been 13% since I've been alive. Mm-hmm. That's like a zero population growth, ain't it? If we only been 13% of the population of the country, every statistic I've ever seen between 13 to 14%. In every state, 80% of us is getting rid of the babies. Right, wrong, indifferent. The idea that I used to think as well is that, white people don't want abortion to be legal because they want white people to have babies. They gonna be outnumbered no matter what. They need to just talk amongst themselves and tell them they give them, because we about to, you know what I'm saying? It don't, the numbers ain't, the math ain't mathing for that to be the case. I mean, I used to think that shit because, by 2040 or 2050 or whatever, it's not going to be, they even gave a date when blonde hair, blue eyed babies won't be popping no more. They won't be, because it takes a very specific step. Everybody going to be brown. Everybody going to be tan in a few years. But like the math don't be mathing on that particular one, because that was my opinion too. Like, this shit is set up. But then when you think about the Margaret Sanger and the Planned Parenthood and how this shit started, yesterday I posted something on Twitter where they are now tracking mobily everybody who visited an abortion clinic and quote unquote low in black neighborhoods or whatever. They know where you live at now, so they know who's tracked.
That's crazy.
Like Scottsdale know me.
What I'm saying is,
they know I done been there.
What some of us may be begging for may be our impending doom, but that's always how it happens. I create a solution. I create a problem, and then you beg for the solution that I want you to have anyway. So
I'm out the game. So
this is what I treat. I treat abortions just how I said I treat drugs. Remember, I was like, I think all drugs should be illegal. Should be legal. Not because I think everybody should do them, but because they're not here, because they are illegal. It creates a black market. It creates murder. It creates death. It creates a shitload of problems, probably worse than drugs. If you got rid of abortions across the country, then they're gonna go to the black market. It's gonna be other shit. So I think that you should do whatever you want to do, because that's gonna be up to you. And if it's a religious thing for you, that's gonna be up to you and whoever God that you think is there or is not there. That's not a personal decision for anybody to make. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do for me and mine what I think is best for me and mine. But the idea that this just basically makes it illegal across the country, it's just not true. Talk to your state. And if your state vote that they want it or don't want it, then you gotta go with the public, the majority rules. That's the country we live in. Majority rules.
And you can keep challenging it. Like
all
it's not
an all and end all. Yeah,
it's not. Whatever you don't like, it can change.
You made a good point about drugs being legal. Did you see when my man in Detroit had the weed vending machine on the side of the house?
Y'all don't remember seeing this a couple months?
Yes,
I do remember seeing that a couple months. Yeah,
and that was like promoting this shit. I'm like,
I thought he had a loophole. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I thought he had an ingenious idea.
The idea for sure is, but I thought it was some type of,
And what pisses
you know what
me
I'm
off,
saying, like recreational loophole.
Well, it's probably he just don't got the paperwork to actually sell it.
That's what I thought he, you know what I'm saying, because it's the, you know, whatever the number is
It's a
that
neighbor,
you can
but
have.
that's a residential. That's a house. You know, it got to be zoned correctly and all the other dumb shit.
and recreational marijuana is not legal in the city of Detroit.
You
Yeah,
should.
we don't
No, I'm sure you can't. Like, if you go to a dispensary in the city of Detroit, you need to have.
I thought they just voted for that.
I think it just changed.
past year.
It wasn't before, so it might
No,
be that.
I don't have my marijuana card. I cannot walk into a dispensary in Detroit without the card and purchase weed. Now, I can go to Hamtramck without the card and purchase weed.
That's what they'll deliver to my house in Detroit.
Oh, and I think was that a Michigan thing and not
Yes.
a city thing?
Michigan.
Listen, you can use, what is it, Lantern?
Well, Michigan supersedes the city, right?
No.
Lantern will deliver to my house in Detroit.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
same case
only-
with abortion, right?
It is. Same shit.
City by city, your community has the opportunity to say, "We want this here."
Now, I'm sure
or
it's
we
just
don't want this
I'm sure
here."
it's just a matter of time before, that you check it off for Detroit. But I just think it's an ingenious idea, and where he's going to go down and go to jail for that shit, some young nigga's going to do the same shit in California and revolutionize the game.
I think he just has to move. Like if he moves the vending machine to where it can be in play, but I don't think he really goes. I don't even think he go down like that for real. I think he gonna get fined for sure. But I'm not sure that they lock him up for it.
They took his money. He had guns in the crib.
I mean, that's a different.
I mean, they took his.
Well,
It's a different-
weed ain't illegal. Ain't no law. I mean, guns are legal and weed is too.
Well, I think the
And a
biggest.
certain amount of weed. Is
That was, I
legal.
think, as long as he's playing in the. So that's why I thought he had the loophole, because he can do that vending machine. I would assume anyway, he could do that vending machine as long as he's under the certain amount is in there at each time.
There's probably some other shit because I don't know the age of the person using my
There we go.
machine.
That's right.
That's,
That was the
that's
next
what I'm saying.
thing.
Like it's something he just didn't think about.
If I'm 16 and I'm swiping, my Cash App card to buy an eighth out the machine, then like that's probably a whole.
Yeah, that's just
a problem.
That's why I think he'll get some fines, but I think he'll be straight. Apparently, he said he was making like $2,000 a day off that boy.
$700,000 a year.
It's not a bad hookup.
$2,000 a day off that boy. So I think he'll be fine.
I mean, you gotta re up with some of that money, but I mean, you probably
Yeah.
still coming out on top.
I think he'll be doing fine. I think he'll be all right, man. Free him.
Yeah.
Free him.
And let's see if we can franchise the machines. I would be interested
Amen.
in hearing a proposal.
Amen.
All right, man. We about to let's go into the second topic. The guy Kevin Samuels passed away.
It still seemed a little fake. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No,
I know that it is, but it was just like this was
It
a nasty rollout of this.
it was nasty.
It was a very nasty.
I blocked a few of y'all. I muted you. I unfollowed some of y'all. If I didn't know you in real life, you got blocked. If I know you in real life, but we not like super cool, you just got unfollowed. And if I know you in real life and you like relatively like friends, I just muted you and I won't see your tweets on the timeline until months from now I go through and look and like, oh shit, such and such blocked. I mean, such and such muted, because I just don't like it, man. I want to play this though, and shout out to
Stage 3 cancer, right? Yeah, that made me look at things even more. I'm like, man, maybe he to the point now, like, I don't care about pleasing nobody.
Well,
I'm gonna tell it how it is.
Well, when I was 21 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And while everybody else was about to graduate from college and go off and to live life, I'm looking at my own mortality. So I've always, even though that has one of the highest cure rates, I've always known that we're all on borrowed time. We're all on borrowed time. So I'm like, through hook or crook, I want to be the best at what I do to try to get the most out of this life that we have, because it's not promised to us. So it's not to do it to make it rich or whatever. It's really because I want to have a life that was being worth lived. So.
man, I hate when like statements like that, it fits so perfectly, but it'd be so eerie when you hear shit like that, right after somebody passes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any kind of extra knowledge or whatever, but I mean, if he been battling that since he was 21 and he's 56 years old.
He's old, not old man, but older for that.
Yeah. So, like, I get it, not liking somebody views or opinions or something. But what I don't understand, what I don't get, what I don't respect, what I can't possibly see, is people saying, "Oh, good riddance" and this and that. Like, oh my God, like.
He didn't do nothing but talk, man.
And
he just talked.
And maybe the message was not delivered in a pretty little bow like he liked, but he was equally hard on men who didn't fit the bill as much as he was hard on women. And the thing is, he told the truth. Like, there are certain things, in order to attract this man that you have this, fairy tale idea of, you need to possess certain things. If you don't possess those things, like if he telling you, like, he asks a woman, what's your height? How tall are you? How much you weigh? Well, you are obese. Like, I just go by body. If you go to the doctor on a regular basis and he uses your BMI index, the numbers add up. If you're 5'4" and 205, you're not thick, honey. You're fat.
Yo, listen to this. Somebody was on Twitter and shit. They was like, yo, this is basically how Kevin Samuels be. He was like, hey, how can I help you? Hey, I would like to know why I can't find a good man. What you looking for? A man over 6 feet tall with no kids, making over $150,000 a year. Do you have kids? Yes, 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. Okay, ma'am. Man, why would a man like that with no kids want to sign up to be a stepdad? Because I'm cute and I know how to take care of a man. Did your baby daddies make that much? No, they was thugs. I swear to God, I've heard these comments before.
Yes.
Well, I'm telling you, no man in that range want to sign up to be a stepdad. What's your height, your weight, and your dress size? Well, I'm 5'2", 210 pounds, and I'm 22. Ma'am, you're overweight. No man in that range wants an overweight woman with 3 kids with 3 baby daddies who are thugs. But I got a cute face, and I work, and I make good money. You're average at best, and no. So why don't you just get an average man? I don't want an average man. I need a man who's going to take care of me. I'm cute. I make so much, and I deserve who I want. And this is basically how the conversation goes.
Every fucking episode.
That people call in to be a guest on. And all these viral things that y'all have seen. I watch this content, right?
I watch it too.
I don't agree with everything he say. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It just be harsh. Be like, yo, that shit was mean as hell. But half of this shit is strict. You know what I'm saying? Like, we on the pod. Don't take everything I say.
It's the show.
You know what I'm saying?
But is it harsh or is it harsh or is it the truth?
Right, but
because 2 things can be true.
2 things can be true. But the thing is, though, like, you don't, for everybody right now that is filling the world with sage and vibes and all of those things.
Moon rocks and all that shit.
I promise you, I tell kids this every day, being mean don't move you anywhere. Like, it's so much work to be mean. To, like, really, you felt good with yourself releasing a tweet about a man that just died and you don't even know the cause of death. But just a man that lost his life, you don't have to say shit. Like, it's not, you keep your day, you don't know him. It don't matter. Keep your day going. Like, it don't cost to be a nice person.
And it's not like I went out.
And that's small.
Searching the internet, grabbing people and just call, hey, you over there, fat girl, come here. No, that's what's so wild is Kevin Samuels' YouTube page been up for about 4 to 5 years, right? And he used to just talk to men and tell them, like, my nigga, why the fuck would a woman want you, whatever. It wasn't until he switched to women in the last 1.5 to 2 years that he caught buzz. So that's what everybody know him for, like, you just attack women. No, you should hear what he said to the niggas.
But
that's what I'm saying. He's been rough on niggas for years.
Like, and everybody who calls in, and who was quote unquote mean, I was mean like that because you disrespecting 90% of the population of men out here. You don't want a man making $60,000, $70,000. You say, I only want this man making over 100, making 6 figures and all the other shit. You're like, but what about the rest of the people where you can have a nice life in it? Well, how old are you? Like, what are your qualifications? Why you think 90% of the other people not good enough for you, and this 6% of the population is?
Because I got a cute face and I'm nice.
But everybody got a cute face. So if there's somebody with a cute face without 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies, why do you think you jump over them?
But what if she's just a nicer person too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's
Now, this
she's
not
a
even
good
to
person.
say, yo, he right or wrong, but like that's
It's just a
basically
matter of
the kind
personal preference.
But even if, let's say he,
But it's
he
the
did-
problem when a man states his personal preference. And
he didn't do anything. You don't know him personally.
right.
People who said things about him, like lewd after he died, you don't even like you never met, he never said nothing to you. So to have a grudge with an invisible person is insane. Talk about mental health all we want. That is mental illness.
It
to
is.
really wake up every day. It's people who wake up every day. It's a person, and I know you listening to the pod too, person. You get on Al Gore's rhythm every day and just be opposite. You don't. The questions don't even make sense. I've seen Jay say stuff in person, be like, "But what about this?"
I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit about that.
Man, that's not what I said. Like,
Not what I said at all.
what-
That's a whole nother sentence.
like, dog. So it's like you wake up every day just like, hopefully it helps you, but it don't. Like, just turn off, man, and just be a good person, though. Like, be nice, dog. Like, really be nice.
People think there's so much power in this phone.
No, they want to go viral. Like, that's the mental illness.
Somehow we supplanted funny with mean, and they think they like synonyms, but mean ain't funny.
No.
All the mental health shit that we be talking about, you get on the internet and be mean to people all day and then claim to care about people's mental health.
Cause the trauma of mental health and be like, no, it's serious. Don't be like, people, mental health is serious, y'all, for real, man. Pray for people. Get a therapist while I send you to therapy. Me. Like, I don't wake up and send
Guess
you
who
to
made a
therapy.
living being mean? Miss Fix My Life. I can't never pronounce her last name.
Ayana
Ayala.
Van Zant.
She did not make a living being mean to people.
She didn't fix her life.
I think she rules questions.
She made DMX shit worse.
She didn't fix her life. Nobody
Guess
had,
who-
like,
She drove a wedge between DMX and his son on that episode.
You know what? What show I love? All the shows. I like all the shows that Gordon Ramsay on. I watch the Hotel Hell
I fucking love
when he
Gordon
goes in there.
Ramsay.
That nigga is mean as fuck. He will disrespect you in your face like your mother's dumb if she had a kid that cooks like he goes all the way in. But we watch that shit, right? He's entertaining. He's a white man being mean to everybody. Simon Cowell. Who the fuck didn't watch American Idol to see them niggas get insulted?
he was a
I think it's a
character.
British thing.
But Simon got about that shit, too.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
he
Like-
sold the idea to everybody else. He getting paid while he don't got to
He
work.
franchised it.
Then he
That's
said,
all.
you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a character
Yeah.
for TV. Remember, all these people doing stuff on TV, we got paid. Gordon Ramsay shows, if I'm calling
paid.
you stupid on there, you got a good pay.
Yeah.
You get paid. And now, anywhere you go, you set up people talking to you, taking pictures, paying to talk to you.
And you can set your restaurant up for
You gotta
the bag.
So but he a character. Gordon Ramsay probably the sweetest man in the world. Like, hey man,
Could be.
my bad, dog. I was tripping.
I seen one episode where he went to a caviar farm, and like it was night and day. Like he was engaging and nice and going through the whole process of how they harvest the caviar. Like it was a completely different Gordon Ramsay, and that's probably more of an accurate view
Yeah,
of what he's
but-
like every day.
When you see characters, like, be a character. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be a character, but like attacking people, like Gordon Ramsay is not talking to people who didn't sign up to be there.
Neither.
And I'm sure it's something like written, like, yo, you know what it is.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? And everybody like
Like the Oscars.
for sure.
Like when you go to, you know what it is. We about to roast you.
Every show, the person in the audience get roasted.
It's them restaurants on South Beach. Like when you go in there, you know they're gonna talk crazy to you because that's what you went in there for the food and the experience. You know when Gordon Ramsay come here, he gonna say something crazy. I think this whole Kevin, it's unfortunate that the man passed away. Like I don't wish death or want death for any of us. I know it's just a part of life, but rejoicing or celebrating that man's death, and he ain't do shit to you, but provide you with some entertainment.
It's sick.
And at the end of the day.
That's mental illness, though. That's mental illness.
And sage the fuck out of that. Smoke the sage.
And let
Hit
me
the sage like a blunt. We smoking
and let me
sage
tell you
pack.
something. Even though Kevin Samuels is gone, you're still not going to get the man that you desire because you're fat, you're short, and you don't look that good. You just don't.
Well, you know what's so
And I don't care how fucking nice you are. You're chubby.
You know what's so interesting is
Nobody loves you.
that's Dame talking.
That's. I just want to have a quick moment before you, because I know you're going to a more positive place. But I just want to have a truthful moment. Like, for real, look in the mirror. Just put a mirror in front of your face and look at it. Look at it. Study it. Look directly into it. That's why you're in the position that you are. Whatever the fuck is staring back at you, that's it. That's the problem. The motherfucker in the mirror. For real, like that's the issue is as simple as that. You're not as like when women like rate yourself from 1 to 10. These bitches like, I'm a 10. I look like Beyonce. No, the fuck you don't. And Beyonce still got cheated on.
Beyonce not a 10 to me.
Fair enough.
Just on because how you be like, you know, wake up in the morning, no makeup, blah blah blah. What do you rate yourself? Like I mean, Beyonce is not the finest woman I've ever seen in my life.
No,
that doesn't mean that she's not cold. You know what I'm saying? But like, she don't get a 10 because she popping.
I love that you use cold as a real nigga. It's not a rate on that. It's not a number that.
You just know it. You just know it.
Like Jen, she cold.
Cold is like as fuck. It is it's a weight of measurement.
If she cold as fuck, then it's like it's a different rating system. But I love as a real nigga that she cold.
I know women personally who I think look better than Beyonce.
And they cold.
That's super cold.
As a real
like in real life. I love it. Now I'm not saying that they a billionaire and all this doing the dance moves on like man, that's not what we are. That's not what we rate.
But if I had a little money and I could, tailor make them, treat them like an old school. You put some new rims on it, put some new seats in the bitch.
No, bro.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Because this thing, man, you don't know what's gonna happen, man.
But that worked both ways though. Just like Kevin, you said, like, my nigga, why she want you?
Facts.
You 44 years old. You work at the same job.
I'm 40 years old. I'm a father of 5 by 3 different women. Like, I'm not the ideal catch in most situations, and I'm fine with that. I know that there's a certain type of woman that I attract. I know there's a certain type of women that I don't seem like a good pick for. If you 34, don't have no kids and a good job, looking at me and my crew, probably don't fit what the fuck you looking for. You ain't got no babies. I come with 5 and a possible. I might want to have one more. I may not. Like, that's probably not the lane that you want to travel in.
But you're not about to be like, nigga, I'm insert whatever nigga that girl's like right now level. Like, my nigga, I know where I'm at in life. You know what I'm saying?
And you can still get something cold.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every day.
It might not. It just might not. She might not just come with $1 billion.
Yeah,
but like the regular bitch that work at Walmart, it's just as cold. So.
You get
99% of the women that I meet don't come with
$1 billion.
Listen,
they barely come with $50K a year.
What, like we talked about before, the internet,
and that's cool.
Skewed so much stuff for people. Because the thing is, like, people, it's the difference of knowing between wants and needs. You think you want $1 million. Realistically, to live how you want to, you don't need $1 million.
You need about 72,000.
But you like, man, I want, you want.
If I can bring home $100K tax free, nigga, I live like a king.
You want it. People want these numbers. Like, do you need it? No, because like, what are you missing right now?
Nigga, play money.
You know
what I'm saying?
Like,
all my bills is paid. I like a little bit more disposable income where I can
to do what with.
But selfish shit, more tattoos, more Timbs.
But you can get
Timbs don't cost that much.
But you can get it now. You just
like,
wait.
what do you like in real life? Like not you per se, but like, are you on a different car? Right. All right. Boom. Now you got a different car.
Now what?
They're just gonna do what? Like
drive.
From like, unless you're just like a car person that you love. Like you want a new car so you can attract some hoes. Because ultimately, ain't that what it? Unless you like this car person. Like, ain't that what it's for?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I
do want a Cutlass. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I want a 1988 Iraq Z28. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's not to attract women. That's because I want that car. Right. You know what I'm saying? But like,
I mean, I want nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? I do want.
But you can get like, you know what I'm saying. The thing is,
it's attainable. It's attainable.
It ain't like everything you want. You can get.
Just pick up for it, Jason.
Man, you don't know who called my phone.
But people really be like, you know, and that's where people get mixed up with wants and needs. And you just like, no, I want this and want that. And so that's why you missing the person. Because you thinking you want that, or you thinking that and you liking that.
The internet has blurred the lines, and you thinking that the person that like you want something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or they may just want you. Oh, but I gotta have
I
this,
do
this,
this.
and this because the topic that be on the internet, so I gotta go on this.
I'll be honest. I probably missed out on a lot of amazing women that I've dated. And I can look back and name at least 4 or 5 women that I was like, man, I probably dropped the ball on that because I thought I could do better. I thought they were good, but I can do better than, like, if I can get this one, I can, the next one gonna be even colder. Like I just always, I looked at them with like, yo, I can do better than that. But like, honestly, that was probably like if I had stopped there, I'd have been pretty fucking good and pretty fucking
cold.
happy.
She was cold, but you had to go get a slushie.
Right.
She was cold. You're like, no, I want the Sprite with the slush.
And when I look back on it, like, look, like this, I'll never name names, but there's somebody in particular I could think of. Look good, sexy, good job, and just an overall good person, loved me and my children. And I was like, I can up it though. I can up it though. But
So
like
that's not.
no, it is a personal problem. Like it was something in me.
But the problem is like what people always tell you, like, yo, once you like never be content in life.
Why
Always
not?
strive for the more. Yo, you get this promote. Now what the fuck is going on, man? You gonna beg God for all these fucking blessings. As soon as he give them to you, he's like, all right, not me, let me get something else.
Hold on.
I quote Pastor Jason all the time about that. Like that line, because you say it. Like that's your like.
I remember
That's your one.
I remember
Like-
being told that, and I took it to heart.
Hey.
And I realized, dog, and I was a kid. I remember I was coming up on the Southfield Freeway Service Drive, Joy Road in Southfield.
Exit 9.
Come
Yep.
up off the freeway.
Yeah, and I remember my uncle was having a conversation with me. God bless his soul. He passed it during COVID, one of the first waves. You know what I'm saying? But like I remember he told me that, and he's a great guy, smart guy, salesman, the whole 9 yards. But he told me that, and I took it to heart. Like, yo, never be content in it. But I just realized, like, yo, that wasn't good advice for me, right? Because you can be happy.
Listen, 38-year-old me, I'm telling y'all, be content with something. Find content. Because what people tell you, don't be comfortable. Why not?
Act like you've been here before. I ain't never been here before.
Get comfortable. Get wrong.
You know what?
Your favorite spot on the couch, that's your shit.
Just even more recently, last week I had an interview for my job because I've been working on a contract basis. I interviewed for the position for a permanent basis, and I got it. And in the moment, in that very second, I felt like a air of relief. Like, oh, I got it. I'm good.
Good. Package change.
But then, like, there's something else that I've been praying to God about privately. And I was like, man, I wish that would come through too. Then I had to stop myself. I'm like, nigga, you've been working on contract for 6 months. At any given, like a few weeks before that, I cut my beard because I thought niggas was going to fire me on Monday. And I was like, nigga, you just got, like, bask in this for a minute and just be happy that you got this one monkey off your back that, you know, I remember and my boss brought it up in the interview. She's like, when I first interviewed you for the job, I told you in the interview, this job is on a 90-day contract. And I didn't know that going into the interview. I had a decent full-time job, but I hated that job so much. I was just like, I'm just going to roll the dice and see what happens. My 90-day contract got extended to 30 more days. Now I'm there 6 months. When it was coming time for my 6 months, she told me she was extending it another 3 months. So now we were running, you know, my contract itself would have ended in June. And now I was starting to get like, well, it's about to be May. I'm going to have to do. And then like everything fell into play. But even in that instance of getting that relief in that very moment, I was like, well, I wish that other thing would have worked out too. Then I could have but I had to be like, nigga,
FOMO
like,
was
just
a
be
real thing.
happy.
For sure.
FOMO is a
100%.
real thing with like events, but like also I guess with life experience, I don't want to miss out. If I'm with this woman, what if the other one come? But I don't want to miss out with that.
What if she don't go?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I remember this is when I knew, like I had, you know, so my youngest son, he's born premature. He was born in 24 weeks. So he's a miracle, all these things. He was in the hospital for 9 months in the NICU. So coming out of that, I changed everything how I looked because we really had to slow down, take one day at a time because no day was the same.
No, that
Going
NICU
in
is a
there.
different
Going in there every
experience.
day, no day is the same. So, you know, looking for different jobs and interviewing. I remember, I'm like, I know I probably stunk this interview up. But somebody like, where you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be happy. I said, that could be here, that could be somewhere else. But being happy and being comfortable is more important than me lying to you right now, telling you, like, I want to be the senior, what's the name? Because I could be the senior person and be miserable.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I could be the same person anywhere.
But happy is like more of a personal thing, and that's what I want. If I'm happy in 5 years, I'm a better person to my friends. I'm a better person to my
I'll be
family,
honest, like
better person here.
If I'm interviewing and somebody says that, I will hire you because I can keep you happy at work. I may not even have to pay you more, but like we can do something to make sure that you're comfortable and happy at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I just knew it was one of them questions. I was like, look, I can make that shit up and be like, yeah, I want to continue to, grow in the company and be. It's like I want to be happy.
They just want to hear that commitment. That's all.
I'll be honest. The position I work in right now and the one I worked at the other one, I don't want to go no higher than that because I don't want to take on a responsibility there because I don't want to do it. I'm trying to make my exit out of the game. Mm-hmm. Could I be the head nigga at any of these last jobs I could, but I spend a lot of time in here. I put my efforts somewhere. I don't want to work no more for somebody. I literally don't.
This is what I do.
I could.
I'll be honest.
Honestly, I can't.
The last job I had a job once. When we worked at Comcast, we made a shit ton of money. Like just ridiculous amounts of money. But when I look back, like literally like measuring my happiness then as opposed to where I am now, like I'm really happy with what I do now. I make a comfortable living. I would like a couple more dollars. Well, literally at the end of the day, like I make enough to pay my bills and do some of the shit that I want to do outside of like taking care of the shit that's needed. So I mean, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be the phone.
Can I go on 3 more vacations a year? Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to go into such and such, but if we just being real,
I don't want to have to work hard.
If we just being realistic, like that, not many people make over $100,000 a year. Right?
It's a small percentage
in the country.
Oh yeah.
Let alone Michigan. And your millionaire people or the people who make over $300,000, there's a certain unless you're an athlete or a rapper, and that's a very 0.something%, there's a certain age that comes along with that. It's usually some well past 30, some in the 40 into 50 when you get 50. To the million. You know what I'm saying? The millionaires and shit. Like it's really an unrealistic goal for insert person here to say, yo, I want to marry my 24-year-old, but he got to be a millionaire and this and that, and he can't. Like it's just not a thing. So everybody that you see here in Michigan or your Metro Detroit area who live in a quote unquote good life and everything, fam, everybody don't make $300,000. A lot of them don't make $100,000.
Just because you wear them.
Nigga, the median income here is only what, 24, 25,000?
But if you make 60 and your wife made 60, now y'all bring in $120,000 a year, and I know this is $120,000 a year, and it's $120,000 a year comes in that house, and there's only one mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, however you figure that shit out between that amount of money, like, fam, if we would just get out of our own way, everybody could just live a happier existence.
But they keep telling you don't settle. And settle ain't it's just the words of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna get in the ocean with the waves rocking.
But like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because the water don't never stand still in the ocean. That motherfucker always.
But I'm saying, like, when them waves coming in, there's the tidal waves coming in, you ain't about to go swimming. But more people gonna jump in the pool than the ocean.
That's a fact.
Yeah, facts. That's a bar right there.
Don't settle. Be comfortable, man. I mean, be comfortable being who you are. Don't do it for nothing else. Like that's where it's the wants and needs.
But that's the thing, that stigma. you know, if we put our resources together, you know, we doing good. But then everybody be like, well, my husband should pay all the bills. He should be paying.
That's why I think this black community shit is some bullshit. Niggas be talking about let's pool our resources. Nigga, you can't pool your resources with your husband or your wife. You won't practice group economics in the house that you live in, but you want everybody.
With the person you love.
Get the fuck out of here. That's some bullshit. That shit sound good. It sound cute. You won't even do that with the person that you didn't marry.
Nigga, I'll admit, when I first got married and my wife was like, we need a joint account. We both gonna put our... I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that. Mom, I work hard for... Nigga, that was the easiest part of my life. When we put our money together and I took my hands off of the control... Because I'm a control freak. I need to be... Like, I lay that bullshit. I need to be in charge of every aspect of everything.
But you was young and adjusting to it.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I'm still that nigga.
but you had to, like, it was you bringing people together. You know what I'm saying?
And and that was hard for me to see at 23. But now at
100%.
But like when I look, so when we separated and she moved out and we left, I had no idea what got paid, when it got paid, what the fuck the balance was. Shit was getting turned off left and right. I come home, the lights off. I came home one day, the cable off. We ain't got no fucking food in the fridge because I was used to her handling the day-to-day business. I really took my hands off of that shit, and I didn't know what. I didn't know they was due on this day. I didn't know, you know, you was paying this much here and that. Like, I just had no clue. Like, my finances were in fucking disarray for probably about 6 months until I really got my shit together. But like, nigga, it's no problem in putting your money together and making your household run. Like, I can't tell you what to do. It doesn't need to be an image. What works best for this family is what should be the important thing.
Like the motto that I saw was there was a house account that money went into, and then like my parents, they paid themselves an allowance every week. So I'm gonna take X amount of money out of my check for my weekly whatever I need to do, and I'm putting the rest of the money in this account, and that is where the auto pay is coming from for the mortgage, to this, to that. We need some shit from the house. Everybody had a house account, and they had their personal account too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like this, the house account. And we not about to be like, well, technically this month you paid 37% of the bills. No, and I paid 72% of the bill. Like,
cause you stupid. Like, I'm gonna call y'all stupid. Who'll be like, you don't put y'all stuff. Are you gonna let your girl be broke? You got all the money and you gonna be like, now keep overdrafting your account, babe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna be like, how much you got in your account? $19. You better start carpooling, bitch. No, you're not. Like, this is the person you love, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
when you get paid again.
You can't say that. Like, but if you living like that, your marriage is gonna fail. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, your marriage is gonna fail.
We had a BlackBerry letter on This Week in Culture one time, and
the vacation shit.
Yeah, the vacation shit where this nigga made, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times.
He made her pay or something crazy.
Made like 4 or 5 times more.
She made, let's say 30, and he made 120.
You know what I'm saying?
It was insane.
And they went on a family, and his family is real well off. He went on this very expensive vacation that she saved up and did all the other shit for.
She was struggling to eat.
Yeah, and they're like, yo, we paying half and half. You pay for your ticket, I pay, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. But it's like, why would you do that? Like, why would I watch somebody, if this the person I love, why would I watch you struggle? Because you're trying to keep up appearances and shit like that. On the other side, right? Let's just say the man and the woman, they both make $80,000 a year. But your expectation is the man pays for everything, right? So he pays for everything. He deals with everything. And you just take your $80,000 a year and spend that shit on you. Why would you watch that man struggle to pay all the bills while you just spend shit on yourself? That's selfish to me.
It's stupid.
Now, that doesn't mean that the man shouldn't be a provider and all that dumb shit, but like, why would you sit there and watch a man do all that? Watch a person, because it's not even a man or a woman thing. Why would you sit there and watch somebody do all that shit?
Stupid. It's stupid. That's all I mean. It's just stupid.
That shit cruel.
It don't make sense, but you are working against yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's gonna fail. That house is gonna blow away.
If your wife got $50 to a payday and you got $3,500 in the bank, and you're just like, damn, what you gonna do?
Listen, the best times with our like, what, you know, like when you feel like everything is clicking. Like if you get a job, like I get a job, and my job get paid first and third. Then like my wife's job get paid.
Nigga, that was the best shit. We had them alternating. Like we
second
get paid
part.
every week.
Like we rich. Like it's every let's go out to eat. We gonna go out to eat every week. Just cause, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like
We
it's
got it.
always
Yeah.
coming in. So it's like the other times you got like, all right, here, okay, you got a plan. But when you knew it was hitting every week, you be
We
like,
up.
You
We
get
up.
a new job. Like, hey, what is?
With your pay weeks.
What's your pay weeks? And it's only just because of like how we living. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
living.
right. How we living? We straight. And then it's like, damn.
Man, this shit wow. I think we got access to too many people's opinions. I think
sure.
that's what it is.
That's what we gotta get off that shit, man.
Yeah.
That's how your grandma and granddaddy worked. Because they didn't have so many people to broadcast their bullshit to.
They had a little neighborhood of motherfuckers who was nosy, but that was relatively self-contained. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say there was 50 niggas in the neighborhood who know your business or who you can hear versus 40,000. You know what I'm saying? A million.
We got access to people.
Nigga, if you got 1,500 followers on Twitter and now all of a sudden you delete all of your ex's pictures and you not following them no more, like now you got 15 motherfuckers assuming what the fuck is going on with your life and your
we
business.
know what's up. No, it ain't even assumed. We know.
Facts.
I noticed that you don't post your significant other no more. I noticed that ring ain't there no more. I noticed I noticed that you're going out more.
The yams
Dressing less and going out.
In real
yams
life,
is out.
that's
The
the thing.
yams came to the party. We see the yams are at Thanksgiving again.
Yeah. And I love yams. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about. It's a little bit lighter. So recently Dave Chappelle was in concert and somebody made the mistake of jumping on the stage and tackling Dave Chappelle and then trying to make a exit through the stage, and they beat his ass.
Man, they whooped that nigga good.
They beat him
You see that nigga
arm.
left side of his head?
Yeah, I seen that. Did you saw they put him on the stretcher like Bushwick Bill?
Yeah.
Like,
Yo,
Bushwick Bill.
his
was
arm
great.
is ridiculous, but like the left side of his head was
Knotted up real quick.
nigga. That shit, he looked like Brainiac or something. Like that nigga shit was retarded, dog. Pinky in the rain head. Ass nigga.
What I would like to tell niggas is like, don't let that Will Smith shit gas you the fuck up and think that you can jump on stage with strangers, because it's an old adage. You don't talk to strangers. Like, you don't know these people. You don't know who's with them. You don't know what they're going through. And I just share a small story time with Dave.
Okay.
Is that I look at Walmart as a huge boxing ring, because I never know what can go down in Walmart. Never. I used to date this young lady and she was somewhat volatile. And we were out one evening and we decided to take date night to another level. And we got into a tag team match with another couple inside of Walmart. And the tag team match happened because, you know, in Walmart, it'd be 400 people in line, 3 cashiers. They decided to open up another cashier, and it was like right next to the line that we were in, so we gonna slide over to this other cashier. But these other people were very overzealous and tried to move in front of us, but we were kind of holding up the line because there was an elderly woman in front of us. We were gonna let her go first. The strange couple that we did not know until this very moment happened to yell at my date to move the fuck out the way so they could get in line. Her being, you know, who she was, she didn't take very kindly to that, and she went across this woman's face.
How long ago was this?
It's less than 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Let's make sure one like.
No, I was just trying to figure out who the fuck it was.
No. It's not nobody you know. It's not nobody you know. But yeah, so she decided to go across this woman's face, and she's with her partner, who I assume is her husband. I'm with my date, and you know now we fighting in Walmart, and we essentially don't get shit because we had to put hands on a couple in Walmart. But the story goes, don't fucking talk to strangers. You don't know me. You don't know what the fuck I'm going through. Now I'm at an age in my life where like you can't say shit to me out the way in public. Because just like my partner here, I carry. And I'm not afraid to pull this bitch out and let it go. Like don't start no shit with me out in the streets. Because I say it quite a bit on this show. But like if you think it's a walk in the park, buy a fun pass and ride the ride. I promise you don't want to go around this bitch twice. I promise you don't. But like motherfuckers just don't. Leave people the fuck alone. And Dave Chappelle happened to roll, I think they call it the Dave and Buster's tour. Because
him and Busta Rhymes, yeah.
because him and Busta Rhymes are together on this tour. And I always feel like a way about older school rappers. Like they move differently, especially old school New York rap niggas. Like, a lot of these niggas now, they wear tight pants, they talk funny, they, wear chokers and not real chains. I don't subscribe to that shit. But like some of these older niggas.
They doing that shit because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
They acting like it's cool. Like, nigga, I can't even breathe in this motherfucker.
You got on a Tiffany choker around your neck. Where the rappers I grew up in, you didn't have to unlatch your chain. You just threw it over your head.
That's a fact.
Chain on. And when you run up on motherfuckers that don't play that shit, and they really don't play that shit, you get your ass beat. Leave strangers the fuck alone. Leave them alone.
They beat the fuck out this nigga.
As they should.
Now, I wonder why it's being characterized a certain way and not another way. Because somebody from that community we was talking about earlier sent their little assassin on stage to do what they needed to do. Why you attacking him? Now, if that was somebody with a BLM shirt on or some shit, it'd have been like this is a part of this and this. And like, no, your community can't be absolved of this shit. Do y'all support this shit? Where y'all person coming out like, we don't think this and that?
Who's the spokesperson for that community?
I don't know.
I ain't
Hollywood.
I ain't gonna say it, but
Ellen.
No, it's a white man.
Anderson Cooper.
That's a white man. No, white men. So the thing, that's the irony in this whole thing. The reason that the whole LGBTQ thing pops off and why it be such a fire starter is because the voice that is still a white man. It's just a trans woman.
That's a fact.
So he's still a white man. He just can't give up his white man power still. Like, he's still a white man in there.
Fragile white men are going to be the downfall of society.
Caitlyn Jenner.
White man.
Still a white man.
White man came in.
Yeah.
It was the woman of the year. The white man came in first round draft pick, rookie of the year.
So they still being white, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a white man. And them, they ain't playing about the
So
problem.
Karens are really white men. Oh.
Craig. Kevin. Karen and Kevin.
But he had a white man.
Man, y'all should leave people alone. I don't like the fact that my man got that close to Dave to tackle him and shit, because that shit could have, this shit.
You know, he said he had a fake weapon on him, too.
Well, he had a fake plastic gun, but he had a real knife on him. You know what I'm saying?
Super crazy, though.
Yeah.
Which is like, so we laughing and joking about it right now because it happened this way. What if when he tackled him, he had the knife in his hand and stabbed him?
In his back.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, this could have been, this not normal. So also, I believe in free will. I think y'all believe in free will as well. Do you know that the only thing that's keeping this country, quote unquote, together is free will? Because technically, anytime through history, a nigga could always have ran up on the stage and did some damage. The only thing that keeping somebody, like when you get on the elevator with somebody that you don't know, what's stopping them from just attacking you? Like, we are all praying that everybody is having a good morning today.
Yeah.
Because at any point, anybody can snap. And because everybody don't snap all the time, I think we're doing a little bit better than how we report it. Because it's 360 million people in the country, dog, that we know of. Right?
See what you did.
Yeah.
See what he did.
Because it could be more.
I caught it.
Like,
Documented.
no, I'm just saying that we know, like, they average that shit out. Like, it was about 360. But what if it's 380? What if it's, I don't know. What if, that we know of, like, everybody got to have a good day or it's going to be horrible. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why they control the people with the media, just to keep everybody on some predictable shit, because ain't nothing that really to stop a motherfucker from doing whatever they want to.
No, but I always feel like if you jump into somebody else's arena and something fucked up happens to you, you got what you deserve.
He only getting 4 misdemeanors. He's straight. Which is wild that you attack a nigga with a knife. You don't even catch a felony.
Because there was, I mean, he didn't shank him, you know.
Well, I know a situation that happened with a knife involved. Nobody was shanked. And a nigga went to prison for 3.5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
Shit crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't like the messaging. There's one thing I was gonna bring up. It's too much for today, and I don't want that much hate. But y'all gotta watch the messaging that y'all been receiving, and because it's not what it seems. That video I put in the group yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's wrong, man. Like, y'all know your eyes are not open. And y'all just listen to whatever a particular voice tells y'all to do and tells y'all to feel. Because the person who posted that, I'm like, oh, shit. I click on it. I'm expecting to see something different. I'm like, the fuck y'all thought was about to happen? And y'all will mischaracterize a super duper violent situation, a wild situation, if it's a black person or a black woman in this particular case that was behind it. They made it seem like, I was like, yo, I was angry when I seen the headline. I'm like, they did what? I looked at the video. I was like, yo, this the right video? Yo, niggas be playing this, dog.
All the time.
Sainte Tiger Supply.
Yeah.
You got a pop-up coming up, right?
Yeah,
Pop-up
man,
shop.
one for sure, man. We Barry is having this little cafe.
He having a caffeine cafe.
No little.
Not
no
little.
No, I mean like it's because he. No, it ain't. I don't. When I say little, it's not like making it in small. Like
I know,
you know what I'm saying. He's having this event. It's his first pop up.
I understand.
Is he having vendors out? He hit me up, and of course, yeah, I'm pulling up there, man. I can't think of the name of the place, but it's on Holden. What is my man's name? And I think he been in here for sure too.
Yeah, Ken Brass joint.
I can't. Oh God, because he was having the Street Lord wine shirts and stuff.
Oh, fuck! I know. Filthy
American.
Filthy.
So he it's at his location.
Yeah, right around. Okay, yep.
Dirty
His
Americans.
Yeah, Filthy Americans.
Filthy Americans.
His
my bad.
location. Be there. We got be a part of the pop up. I have candles. Yeah, man.
Tell me how this candle shit started.
Candle thing started, man. So on the somber note, so the name Sainte Tiger. So my father was murdered 30 years ago this month. All right, 30 years ago this month.
Sorry to hear that.
People call him Tiger. And I just been thinking about a few different things. And I had a conversation with my uncle, and it was just like, I want to do something to like honor my father a little bit. So that's where the Saint part came. And then like Tiger was his nickname.
Yeah.
Also, like I used to have a clothing line a long time ago. I know I didn't want to sell clothes anymore for real. I love sneakers. I'm never gonna be a resale nigga though. So I was like, how can I do something? I mean, when it's hit, it hit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I ain't got time to be the full time like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do? And it was just taking time and waiting and being patient of it. And I saw something, and it was like with the candles, but people wasn't doing scents. And so I gave y'all some candles before, and I got some shirts coming for y'all soon too. But people wasn't doing scents. It was just a candle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I have a one that looks like that, but it don't smell like nothing. It's just I ain't even burned it, but like it's just wax.
So it works for aesthetic and everything. But I was like, man, no, I want my stuff to have a smell to it. So I'm gonna brand it as a scented candle, and moving in that direction of it. So I wasn't the only person out here, you know what I'm saying, with it. But I was like, nobody's doing sense. Like nobody's advertising the sense. I had to figure it out, do some science.
If you want to make dollars, you got to make sense.
Yep, 100%. I like that.
So we be talking and shit offline and all that other shit. Some people got the game.
Oh, niggas is insane.
Game fucked up. You help people out. People ask you different questions and shit. But you can't ask for the plug.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't send it to you, Dame. But this week, I post the company, you know what I'm saying? Like I want people to know it's a brand. You know what I'm saying? So it's Sainte Tiger Supply. It's not just candles. It'll be other things that'll be a part of it. My friends here, they have the car scents, car spray, room spray. So it's not just candles. Like it'll be a bunch of different things, more aesthetically pleasing things for men to have. You know, later this year we're gonna have a coffee table book, things,
Nice.
stuff like that.
You
but
got some Jordan 1s in this coffee table.
you gonna be a part of it.
All right.
I ain't talk to you, but you a part of this coffee table book. So don't worry about that. Anyway, this week somebody hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I get random DMs, no problem. He said, "Hey, I see you got them candles. How much you pay for your molds?" So I'm like again, I had a clothing line. I have no problem giving people game. I tell you shirts. I tell you what to order. I tell you who to go through. All of that stuff. But this felt a little odd. I screenshot. I said, "Jay, am I tripping? Like, ain't this like flagrant?" He said, "Where's Teddy?" So he
Basically.
so I said, wait a minute. I said, "Yo," I hit him back. I said, "Well, you make molds?"
Because maybe he want to get the
was
discount. Like, yo, come through me. I'm the plug.
This is
now.
what I said. I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt. You make molds? Oh no, mind you, I don't know this man. So he saw the stuff from either me, somebody posting it. You see what I do. You see how I do it. He's like, "How much you pay for the molds?" Like, excuse me, stranger. Like,
What's the website for the month?
like, what is we talking about? Like, I don't know you, dog. It's different if Jay asks me. I know him.
Right, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
If I got the mold, I'm just gonna have a bunch at my crib. I'm not gonna
Like,
sell them bitches.
but it's like, dude, like, what do you mean? Like, oh no, I don't make molds. It's like, so you want me to give you my whole business that I
I've
spent
invested
time
in
and hours and working on and figuring stuff out, and that's what you want?
Man, what's so funny and shit, dog?
How'd you end the conversation?
Oh, that was I don't know him.
Oh,
I just asked him if he made molds. He said no. He went to spam, fam. Like you, like we have nothing. Like you want me to like this is my price. I'm Mr. 17.5, and you can be like. Dude.
Man, what's crazy, dog? Niggas ask me questions all the time. I don't mind helping out. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of our guests that came in here relatively recently. They just came in here so they can look at all the equipment and then go buy it themselves and start their own shit. Which, shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you because, I mean, essentially that's what we did when we went to the white man.
Yeah.
Initially, I seen what they had. I was like, I can buy these and this. But like, I done bought the equipment in here done changed 6-7 times. You know what I'm saying? Because we ultimately
you can buy the recipe, but you can't duplicate the sauce.
Yeah, but like, a nigga called me and asked me about some shit a couple months ago. Well, I think it was a couple years ago now. And I'm like, yo, we can get it now. And then later on, he popped out of nowhere, wanted to come on the pod and shit. And then probably about a month and a half later, he got all the exact same shit. I'm like, man, like. It's all good, you know what I'm saying? But like,
weird, bro.
It's
like,
all good, but like that was.
I wasn't.
I thought it was kind of weird that you popped up out of nowhere and wanted to come on the show and shit. Cool name, you know what I'm saying? We've been on the show before and shit. We're like, I know what time it was. Like, I don't want you to think that you like got one on me, like, cause I already know what it is. And it's like, nigga, anybody can fucking buy podcast equipment. Like, I don't have a fucking monopoly on podcast equipment.
I never want to feel got down on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see his other.
Oh, that nigga was trying to get down on you, and it's another nigga in particular
that popped up.
Yeah, and he trying to get down.
Same thing, but it's different. I don't want I'm not a hater by no means. But I got a website. It's all secure.
Yeah, everything don't be secure.
You don't DM me for orders. I had a business. I had tax ID.
You got a cool name.
I got a Square app. It's like it's a brand. It's everything.
It's a cool name though.
You pull up to me at the pop up. Guess what you could do? Tap that shit.
As soon as I seen Sainte Tiger Supply, first off, that's a great name. I thought Yeezy Supply when I first saw it.
See,
you know what I'm saying? Which ultimately put me high scale. You know what I'm saying?
So it's more. Like I said, it's
and
more.
Then Saint, like them 3 words together. That's it, dog.
It was patience, man. But like I said, so it's like it's more stuff. Like more stuff will come. Like I got to figure. You know what I'm saying? Like
what that hoodie you wearing?
I want it to be right. That'll be. It's. I'll have a small run of it. Like I didn't. Like I made a hoodie because I just wanted something to wear.
Yeah.
At the last pop up I did. So I wanted to like, that was my first one.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the, branding. You see me, boom. And then people was asking me, like, yo, What's up? I'm like, okay. Like, you know, I'm taking note of it, but like right now it's candles. You can smell them. Here, pick it up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing right now. But like I said, it's not going to just, you know, it's like, it's not just that.
I definitely want to get when my son go back to school, because he just happened to be over at my house because since he came back and he saw like how I don't burn it. You know, I just got it.
Yeah, I know, but I want people to have the option to. But the thing is about it with the soy candle, the scent still come off. You gonna walk past that mug and like, hey,
sometimes I come in the club with certain candles that I ain't smelled in a long time, but whatever going on about this particular Thursday, that bitch be like.
And so like, I just like one, I like it because it's cool.
Yeah. And
then two, it's like, men, you know, as the girls say, men deserve luxury too. You know what I'm saying? Like
I said, I want to send my son back to school with a couple for his dorm room, since he gonna have a solo dorm.
I got to get him
next
the spray.
year.
He need the room spray.
Yeah, because he's gonna be fucking. I know he's gonna be fucking.
He got to refresh his room.
Yeah.
He got to refresh his room. But you need, like, we like stuff. Like, we're older, so it's like, man, you can't win Jordans every week, but you can shop with me every week.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get this Jordan one. We can get different colors, but
I've given up on buying Jordans.
it's gonna look a certain way. You put it on a shelf, put it on a bookshelf, put it on your mantle. It's gonna give you the aesthetic. You have a certain amount of class.
Speaking of Jordans, is my delivery here?
So that's what Sainte Tiger Supply is. So I won't say it's just like, it's not a man company, but it's with men in mind.
Fact.
And so like when we'll have stuff, like I said, the coffee table.
Men deserve luxury shit. We deserve
deserve
nice things.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine to make shit just for men, because people make other shit just for me.
The ladies be buying the candles. That's what, you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But they may buy them for the guys. Like, but at that pop up, it's different. Like, it was different to really be there. People just coming up and they ain't know me, but they just had to like the product. So I felt good to have, like, people's fucking with the product, and it's me. I made it. I'm Franklin Saint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cooked this
I built
up.
this shit.
Like, this is out my kitchen, and they're right. You know what I'm saying? It's on the table, and they.
Where you get your moles from, though? That's the question.
No, how much you pay?
How much
you pay for the moles?
Not as if you probably couldn't figure that shit out on the internet.
Listen, I figured it out. Like I said, I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the only person. I'm like, ain't nobody in Detroit doing it, and nobody's doing sense. And I'm a branded as such. Like, I'm branding it. It's not just, it ain't, that's why candle not in the name. It could have been Sainte Tiger Candles easy.
Yeah.
But no, it's not just that. Like, it's going to be, I like to create stuff. And it was like, I've started stuff, stopped stuff,
I noticed that. Like, you, for me, it feel like you've been looking for that thing.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. And you got to try. And you got to feel. But when you feel it, like I felt like, all right, it hit.
You know, but I think that's a commonality with all of us. You know, me and Jay found lightning in a bottle with the podcast, but like, since we both collectively known each other, there have been different iterations of us trying to create things. Some things lasted longer than others, but I always feel like, you know, even if I wasn't doing this, you know, I still paint in my own time. I still fucking tattoo or use my tattoo machine and trying to get nice on, like, I would still be creating something even if I wasn't doing this.
But you have to create.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, pouring the candles and making the candles, I'm putting the scents in there. Like, it's not just one. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm mixing and trying stuff out and figuring it out. And, like, I get to do this. Like, I can do it every night. I can do it every morning.
And it's a level of therapy 100%. That comes along with it. You know what I'm saying?
It help out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you calmer, but you like, all right, I'm doing it and I can make money from it.
I just remember when niggas had hobbies and they didn't make money from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did some shit to have something to do that I liked outside of, you know, working or dealing with my lady or the kids. Like, I just...
Yeah, that's what the shirt part, like I'm saying, like the candle part, I get, like, I'm not, the merch thing, I don't know that I'm gonna really sell it as much as, like, I rock with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jay wear hoodies. I ain't gonna give him a t-shirt. Like, cause he go.
I would have had a hoodie the other day, but I just came directly from work.
So it's like, you wear hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It would, like, cause I think Aunt hit me up, like, I need it. And I'm like, I ain't even selling it. I said, but if you give it to me, I'll print it up. Cause this is vinyl.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not.
If you do want to make the ridges, I have a connect. My actual family who can get.
I know.
You know.
So like, this was vinyl, so it was like, I ain't gotta do an order. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want it, man? Give me a hoodie, and I'll cut it, screen it, put it. Thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it'll be more. You know what I'm saying?
I look forward to it.
So we branding it. It'll be like I found my thing, like Jay said.
So like I'm about to go into a situation where I'm only wearing my people's shit or people locally here who I fuck with shit or shit like that. Like I went to Dallas. I went down there in a wealthy hoodie. And I took 3 of Barry's shirts down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know which one I'm going to wear, but I'm going to take 3 of these bitches with me. Like, everything I took down there was made by somebody I know or have access to who didn't sit in this fucking studio before. Yeah. Like, I don't know my man from Wealthy personally, but he done been in here a bunch of times on different podcasts.
He done shopped with you.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, hey, I'm doing that. And I'm about to make black polo shirts with just Shop Talk Podcast Studio. I'm in here all the time. I might as well wear a uniform. If I ain't got a hoodie on, I probably got a polo on. I might as well wear my own polo.
And it feel different. But that's coming from the
same quality.
It's that rap school though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we watched Rockefeller build their own thing. Like, you hear Dame talking about like we had to wear our own stuff, and like you feel a certain way of like wearing your own things. Like I said, the clothing line, I don't miss the hustle bustle of like hustling them, doing orders, messing with pre-orders, but I do miss like me, it's my stuff. And so like figuring out, like I was happy that this vinyl thing worked out because I was against vinyl. Like this was a puff one. So it feel different, give a different thing. I'm like, bet I ain't got to do the puff print no more. Because I know a dude who do puff print, but you know, I got to have this minimum. I got to do like, who can I give a shirt to? Like, I could just buy myself a hoodie, a t-shirt. I get the same instant gratification.
Right.
Like, it is mine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I got that out without having to spend hundreds of dollars trying to like,
I think Adidas make the best hoodies, dog. Whatever material that they use, like they
sell them though.
Yeah.
I'm saying they sell them wholesale.
Yeah. I know. I'm getting them.
They sell them wholesale for sure.
But I like them better than the Nike joints. Like Adidas hoodies are fucking amazing. And after you wash them, they still feel good and they don't be all fucked up and
all fucked up.
Yeah. In any event, music pick.
I just sent you my music pick for the week. My music pick comes from remember, I didn't know Shady Records was like still a thing because I just don't believe like as an artist you really need to utilize a major record label.
Westside Boogie? You about to drop Westside Boogie?
Absolutely. Okay. Stuck, a color show by Westside Boogie off Shady Records. It's my shit.
I'm not even familiar with Westside Boogie, to be honest. I like this shit though.
Yeah,
he
man.
put something out a couple. Is that just a single or he put
That's
some
just
new
a single.
music? Okay.
That's just a single.
So he about to probably drop again. He had a couple joints on there.
On the last album, on his
it was
debut
a couple years
album.
ago. Debut a couple
and
years ago.
And he dropped a project called The Thirst 48. That was really dope. I think that was like back in 18, 19.
He been on Shady that whole time?
No, he was independent then. He dropped his debut on Shady maybe about 2 years ago.
It might have been 2. Yeah, he's straight.
I'm not hip. He sounded where you from?
West Coast.
I think he LA too.
Okay, because he had it sounded like it got a TDE vibe. That song did
because him and Reason kind of came out at the same time.
Yeah,
I remember with real Reason.
Maybe I have heard of him. Did they do some shit together?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah. I am familiar with dude.
Because it was like another Boogie. Like it was like it's Westside Boogie specifically, and then it's another Boogie, not to be confused with a Boogie.
Yeah.
So it's like it was.
So, but there is a Boogie, not to be confused with a Boogie.
Yep.
Because you got Baby, Lil Baby, Da Baby.
You know, do you think T.I. ever be like calling the office that made him change his name from Tip to T.I. and be like, really, nigga? Really? This is
I think it worked out good for him.
It worked for him, but I'm just saying, remember, he was Tip. Then he had to drop the P because of Q-Tip because they like, yeah.
We can't have 2 tips.
Pause.
Yeah. But like I think
it's a double Andre.
Ooh,
double
man.
Andre. I think T.I. worked out better.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
I think it's a better rap name than Tip.
But wouldn't you call niggas like, so y'all got Baby, the Baby, and Lil Baby. All right.
Baby money. It's a lot of babies walking around this bitch.
That's what y'all doing?
We dropped the Lils and now we just Baby.
I just want him to like.
Remember there was a bunch of Lils?
Yeah.
He got to put that in the stand up. Like he got to let niggas know that.
Yo, I've talked about whose man's is this the whole time. I can't give it to one. We've been talking about.
I do have.
Can you switch up whose man's is this and it kind of be like yo man's a positive way?
100%.
Rick Ross.
Yo, man. yo. Shout out. Yo, who's that?
When I saw that video, that was the first person I thought. I was like, Jay ain't seen this shit.
He's my man.
Here we go.
See, that's the thing about Rick Ross. That's the thing about the boss. The metaverse, crypto. Y'all getting so much money. Where you at? Where you at? Show us. And I don't mean, I'm trying to money. Man, I got a lot of money. I ain't need that fake money. But show us, show my homies what the metaverse about. One of y'all big boy crypto dudes, guru crypto picture takers step up and say, this is what we gonna do, Rose. Where you at? Huh? Yeah, everybody giggling, looking around. All that fake rich money, where it's at? Educate us. I know some rich homies who getting money, Bitcoin, Rodney. That boy getting real money, but come on, man, bring it to the Renzel verse, man.
Yo, the fact that this nigga shit look like a fucking museum in this. I mean, where's that, dog? What happened to all you Forex niggas? Y'all just stopped?
They did.
They disappeared.
Y'all millionaires, huh? Because y'all just stopped. No more Forex?
The pyramid scheme, the bottom fell out. Because them niggas was heavy during the pandemic. And they was talking to you crazy, like, you don't want to make $1,000 an hour? Broke ass nigga.
Man, it's a group out there, man. I really like what they doing, but I don't think that I like a lot of the shit that they be doing. But some of this shit, I think just bad advice, man. I think Gary Vee be out here giving niggas bad advice. I think Gary Vee's a very intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't dislike him or whatever, but some of this shit just be bad advice.
When you talk about people buying shit from people that they like, that's Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Like, his personality is engaging. He gets you excited and ramped up. He make you, I can do this. I can be an entrepreneur and rich, but like, nigga, how? Like, Gary Vee is just, he's selling it, but I just ain't buying. But he's selling it hard.
The NFT shit. Niggas bought Jack Dorsey NFT for his very first tweet. Put that bitch on the crypto market for like $48 million. Sold for $280 from a nigga who paid millions of dollars for it. That shit sold for $280. This shit ain't real, dog. This is an illusion.
I just feel like
that nigga be up there talking. You know the little yacht monkeys or whatever the fuck they is. Him and Gary Vee up there talking like, yo, I own 100 of them. Sell them. I know you virtually work. Sell them.
I look at, and maybe this is a bad analogy, but like I play 2K. Shout out to the Twins, because me and these niggas be having some battles on 2K. But like in 2K, you can buy clothes for your player. I can go to the store.
That's an NFT.
And buy this nigga Jordans. But it only matters in 2K. When I walk away from the game and turn it off, I may have $100,000 in VC. I can't take that shit to Little Caesars and buy a hot and ready. It means nothing. It doesn't translate anywhere outside of the 2K universe.
But I can understand that though, right? I can understand. That's a real true NFT. It's a non-fungible token. Anytime that you want to use what you bought and have fun with it, give you some enjoyment, you're going to turn on that fucking game, you're going to hoop, then they're going to have a dope ass outfit, all that shit. Ain't no picture of a pink monkey that looked like Homer Simpson ever gonna be worth no fucking real money. It's what are we doing here, dog?
I can screenshot.
Now it's the scam of all scams is the fact that in order for you to buy a NFT, you have to use Ethereum. So every nigga who own Ethereum is making a windfall every time you buy an NFT because you have to use that on this in exchange. So if I own a whole bunch of Ethereum and you want to buy NFT, you're going to have to cash in some money, buy some Ethereum, turn that shit into something else, and then boom. It's a scam to use Ethereum. It's the only way that you can buy an NFT currently.
Rick Ross, Jay's man's.
That's my man.
I mean, when I saw the video, I saw it real early in the morning. I was like, Jay ain't seen this yet.
Everybody sent it to him.
Yeah.
I got it a lot. I really did.
Sent it to him.
And that was so funny and shit because I don't be remembering which pod I talked about certain shit on or who the fuck knows. But I'm like, damn, like niggas really do. I do. Like, where is Sad? Where is Sad?
Come on, man. I told you to buy some real estate in the metaverse when niggas bought, all that shit next to Snoop Dogg metaverse house.
My actual real estate then went up 30K.
I'll
take that.
I ain't gonna tell you.
Because I ain't did a goddamn thing to that house, okay?
We ain't gonna talk about Murder Inc., but let me tell you, all right, I live in Detroit. I got in great.
Yeah.
I got in great.
That equity probably looking real good right now.
I got in great in that pandemic. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, I did too.
We did. We was like a month apart.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought your houses real close to
Listen, hey, I'm sorry y'all ain't get in 2020.
What's so funny? I wish I would have got it in 2010.
Listen.
Because, like I thought the process was more difficult than it was. Thought I needed more money. And let's be honest. This is the real reason I ain't never buy a house. And when I was younger, I didn't want to buy a house by myself because I thought I was admitting failure. Because I wanted my first house to be with my wife or the person I was with, us to move to this next level, right? So I figured when I was, 30 years old, 25, 27, whatever, like if I purchase a house, then what I'm saying is I'm not going to be with somebody or whatever. Like that was my initial joint. And I wish I would have purchased a house back in 2010 and so when my homies and shit was purchasing their homes because one, the market was what we thought was high back then. That shit was dirt cheap.
Man, listen.
And now the equity if I didn't see a little bit of equity in a year and a half, niggas' equity in 10 years is like ridiculous. That's how you build wealth.
I would have bought it in 2008 if I knew.
I wish I would have.
I would have, if I knew what I knew now, because my credit score I ain't have nothing. I was getting refund checks. I would have bought up Detroit in 2000, all them years. Like if I knew process.
What Dan was talking about when we was making money and shit, it was 2008. You know what I'm saying?
2008, bro.
And before, but.
So that's back, so what, my middle son is 15, so he was born 07. And that's when I bought that $500,000 house out in Canton. If you've heard the story, shit went belly up, whatever. But I remember there was a house I almost bought in Rosedale Park.
50 grand.
40. The house was $40K.
My nigga.
And I didn't want no old ass house that somebody had lived in. I drive past that house so much. If I would have bought that house for $40K,
it's 200.
Shout out to
right now.
260.
Shout out to my nigga
260.
Marcus.
It's sold for 260.
The shoe ambassador. His birthday was yesterday.
Shout out Marcus. I saw him. He was in the Caribbean looking fly as fuck.
He been a top salesperson at Saks for like 17 years. I don't know. For a long fucking time. If you in this, like anybody who was anybody in the city, you go see
shot
Mark.
with Marcus.
You go see Mark. Every time somebody comes in, whether it's a bot, they go see Mark. The shoe ambassador. Go follow them. But when he got married, matter of fact, he had his engagement party at one of them fucking condos on Woodward next to Comerica Park and shit like that. At that particular time, I was talking to somebody. They was going for $45,000. I
remember that.
Them bitches is $1,000.
$500,000.
Listen, 2012, one was foreclosed on. Never forget it. 72 grand.
This was 20.
I'm saying, but it was like
this was 2012.
2012. Somebody had it was like 72 grand. Like if I knew. What I knew now.
Come on.
So man. I got a partner of mine. the old morgue near Wayne State. My homeboy, this partner in general of mine, he's a brain surgeon. He went to U of M, met his wife up there, and he bought the old morgue near Wayne State when it sold. And people told him like this is the worst idea that you could possibly do. But him and like two of his homies went in, they bought the morgue down there for like it was like $300,000 in. They put a lot of money in terms of renovating and all of that. Now they rent it out to college students or they made it like 8 units. They either rent it out to college students or Airbnb it. He told me, he was like, man, the cash flow, he said, I'm averaging $3,000 to $5,000 a month on this property profits. And when people told him like, now when he bought it, it was a piece of shit. It smelled like an asshole when he bought it.
Dead bodies for
Yeah.
decades. In that motherfucker.
But,
Smelled like his work.
but after they renovated it, did everything that they need, it's a fucking cash cow. It's a cash cow. And it's always, we can always look at some decision. Hindsight is 20/20. But like, look, the real estate game is where it's at. That's where the wealth is.
That's the easiest way to build wealth in this country. And as a regular person. You know what I'm saying? It's
to own land.
And someone even said, I saw a post about the wealth gap in between white folks and black folks. I think the black person net worth is like $3,600, and the average white folks wealth was like $147,000 or some shit like that. That's a giant gap. But they can follow that shit back to like 1950 or some shit when they was giving out loans and in certain areas and making black folks go into certain areas where those houses that was given out then have a value of like $500,000, and we got pushed into areas that did not, and crack happened. So like that's a direct, like, you can build wealth through a home ownership. Sure. And the way that you do that is once your home has value, you take a home equity line of credit out, take that interest out or that value out, and then you can use that money to actually invest in other shit to make money, and then put that shit back, and now you just up.
Yeah, the downside to us being the 2020s is because that rate.
So listen, another thing that I didn't realize, maybe like, buying a house was so fucking smart. Because you lock my mortgage in for 30 years. My shit ain't going up. Unless you got like some adjustable shit. It's a bad idea, okay?
You about 3?
Yeah.
See.
It's good shit.
What's so crazy is when I got mine, I was at 3.6. Not even a year later, they called me like, we about to drop you down to 3.2. I'm like, all right, what's the get? They're like, we just look. Because they sold, my mortgage got sold 3 times. Like, within the first year. They was like, we not going to sell your shit. This is going to be, we going to drop your shit. Actually, your actual mortgage is going down. You ain't got to make a payment for 45 days. And you got a smaller interest rate. I was like,
why you ain't just say that?
I'm like, all right. I think I got finessed, though. I was too scared to fight it, though. What I meant by that is like, my shit was sold like 3 different times, and I'm getting bills from companies I ain't never signed no paperwork with. Like, what you mean I owe you $100 and something thousand? Like, I ain't never said I was paying you this money. Do you even have my paperwork type shit? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't, which is probably why they called me to get me to sign a new loan, saying at the smaller rate. Because like, you probably didn't. But I ain't want to chance that shit. And then they be like, well, now we not giving you a smaller rate. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But yeah, man. The inflation, all that shit is going up. Your rate ain't moving for 30 years. So your grandma house was bought for $14,000 on a fixed rate, possibly from the 50s. I mean, from the 70s. Nigga, your grandma had that big ass house because it cost $200.
Yeah.
Because the rate, it was a lot of money back then. But when shit changed, your grandma had the same fucking mortgage. Like, come on, my nigga.
Man.
Why did I ain't think of this? Because whatever your mortgage was in 2008, it's a lot cheaper than what it is right now for this same house. I'm like, oh, my shit locked in. So, all right. My rent wasn't. My shit went up after 365 days.
Every year.
You feel?
Every fucking year.
Like, yo.
And his mortgage didn't.
Shout out 2020, man. I'm telling you, shout out 2020.
I made it kill it.
The pandemic wasn't bad for everybody. And look, they say a lot of these niggas ain't gonna have to pay back them unemployment scams. But the blessing is the scam.
No, but they don't have nothing. Like they spent the money and it's gone.
They talking about pay it back with what?
They don't have anything. They didn't buy houses. They bought Chargers and crashed them.
That shit crazy. If I would have ran that shit up, how niggas is running up, my nigga, you ain't even go buy a Subway. You ain't buying to a franchise that's gonna spit out money for the nigga. You can go buy McDonald's.
You can get a Steak and Shake for $10K.
My nigga,
you can buy into Steak and Shake for $10K.
Listen, and I promise you this right now.
I would have got a little Caesars. I ain't gonna lie.
Any McDonald's in the city of Detroit makes more money every single day than Andiamo's.
Oh, for sure.
They make more money than Jay Alex every day of the week. Twice on Sundays.
I would have got Little Caesars.
I wouldn't have been mad. I'd have been at your Little Caesars.
I got Little Caesars.
Shit crazy, dog.
Don't charge me no extra for that butter and parm, though. Because
I'd have got you one of them cards. You know what I'm saying?
Mark is
That's
my boy.
man.
Man,
That's my man.
I went to a Tigers game one day. They charged me $18 for a hot and ready, dog. $18.
Convenience fee.
I'm like, shit, y'all could have bought these bitches at retail and you still got me for $13. Nigga, shit.
Nigga, hot and ready costs $4 to make.
Not even.
$2. $1.
Yeah. Marcus, as you know it, this is time for the benediction. We always give our guests the opportunity to go first. You know, plug whatever you got going on. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, first things first, man, thank you for having me, man.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a
Every
treat
time.
when players meet.
Every time I come on here, follow Shop Talk Podcast, man. Support, man. Book some time. These are my people. These great brothers, great service. They gonna take care of you, man. Mother's Day coming up. I'll do a meetup with you tomorrow if you need your mama to get a little sneaker candle off. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on me. I got something made. Father's Day coming up. Don't get your daddy no stanky tie. Get him some candles, man. Cool dads deserve cool gifts. Shop Sainte Tiger. It's Sainte Tiger with the E at the end of the Saint. So it's Sainte Tiger Supply.com. Shop with me. I ship fast, man. Like I said, secure payments. Do not DM me to order. Order at the site, man. Pick a color. I got the sense. Thank you to my good brothers, Jay and Dane.
Hey, man, we appreciate having you out. It is your man, Dame, 3_313. You can at me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. If you talk to me, I talk back. Listen, if you are a mother, and I was going to say something really crass, but I'm just going to keep it in. It's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially the mothers that I'm connected with. I may not give them sometimes the recognition they deserve, but I have some incredible mothers in my life, some incredible women that I made life with, and even women that I'm no longer with that I know are great mothers and great pillars of this community, are raising good black and brown young people. Celebrate these women. My mother is no longer here, but if your mama is around, hug her, tell her you love her, appreciate her, cleave on to that woman. Heaven is at the feet of your mother. Appreciate these women this weekend.
Let's go, Dan.
I appreciate you guys for tuning in for 313 weeks. I appreciate the good brother Curve Gotti. I really want you to turn your name back into Curve Gotti on all social media. It's a great name, and I don't think you should let anybody steal it.
All right, it's coming back tonight.
Like
Okay.
if you seen a nigga tweet or Instagram post Curve Gotti, you would feel away. Like you would feel away. I don't know that you would feel away with Mark Homie, but you would feel away with Curve Gotti. You would. Thanks for support Sainte Tiger Supply. Support everything coming out the studio. Shout out to all the mothers out there. Shout out to all those who don't have their mothers with them. You know what I'm saying? This could always be a trying time for everybody. So I'll be liking posts and everything like that, but it's always a trying time. So just keep those people in your prayers and your thoughts and the whole
Absolutely.
9 yard. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. She's a great soul, and I hope she has a wonderful day in heaven.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? On Sunday. When you see the blue and the black, you know where you at. Shop Talk Podcast Studio. Book some time. I'm not saying we the Rockefeller Podcast, but we are Jay and Dane.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
And post your cute mama. Post your cute mamas on the timeline.
Well, you know I'm actually at an age where I can go for the mom or the daughter. You feel me? So throw that out there.